welcome to the Crypto Kingdom. Welcome to the Crypto Kingdom. This is London. I hope all of you are doing very well today. Let's talk about the action that we have on Dogecoin. Let's talk about Dogecoin today. It seems as if it is down. We're also going to talk about Harmony One. We were able to make up some money today in Harmony One, and we made money on the downside here with Dogecoin. So it was a very phenomenally productive and profitable day. Okay, a very profitable day for us. We want to talk about how we were able to profit while Dogecoin was down 37%. Okay, and as we look at that, it's going to be a real simple formula, guys. We are putting forth price targets. Let me go ahead and drop the music just a touch for you guys coming on in. Welcome, Crypto Kingdom. This is London. I want you guys to go ahead and follow us on Twitter. We're going to show you the pricing targets, how we were able to make money today. And we were literally, guys, we put forth the actual entry, the time, okay, literally on the Discord or on Twitter. Literally, we're entering at this point, okay. It matched up with the pricing targets from yesterday's video, okay. We had already laid out all of these pricing targets. I had some discussions today with members of the community. They also had these pricing targets. I'm not the only one who made money. All told, we had 3 trades, okay. One was on Harmony One for about, what was it, 15%. Then we had another one for 15% on Dogecoin, and then we had one for 10%. All told, we were up 45%. Okay, and those were real trades that we executed, that we literally, delivered. Okay, the information to you live. Okay, it was either on the Discord or on Twitter, and it was okay. We're at this price, and I wanted you guys to be able to walk through this. That we're at the price. We're at the target price, so you guys would be able to see exactly what was going on kind of as we were walking through the trades, because it's very important for me that you guys understand that amidst something like this 37% correction, this just retracement, we'll call it retracement, and it made some people money, guys. I was on the phone with individuals that were in the money and around this time. Now, what's the crucial factor here? The crucial factor is we have to be able to gauge, essentially. We have to be able to gauge when these pricing targets are going to hit, or exactly what the levels are, rather. What are the levels that the pricing targets are going to hit? And that's just crucial for us in terms of putting in a limit order. So we want to talk about the future of Dogecoin and the future of Harmony One. We want to be able to kind of wrap that up as well, in addition to the price targeting, because some of you are long-term holders. We understand that, and this may be kind of troubling news what Dogecoin is going through. First of all, as we talk about, let's talk about one thing: the timing intervals that we looked at today. Now, I don't think anything's being marketed as heavily as Dogecoin, just due to the phenomenal volatility that it has been experiencing. Last night we brought up, in addition to all these pricing targets. Now, guys, these were our targets that we brought up. We specifically drew this Fibonacci differently than what you guys are going to draw at home. I guarantee you it was drawn differently than what you guys chose to draw. And it wasn't a standard drawing. There were some reasons that I chose to do that due to the differentiation in the original portion of the trend here, and then this drastic kind of escalation in here, this escalation of the price, and around April 16th, excuse me. And we had kind of a break in between this original price action and the drastic degree of this pricing event. So we compromised this out of the equation. We did that last night. I was glad that we did that, because it exactly allowed us last night to discuss these pricing levels. Okay, the exact levels of target. Okay, the targeted levels of our purchases. Okay, our entry into the market. This in and around the 318, okay, or what is it? 31 cents and 31 and 8/10 cents. 31 and 8/10 cents. I need to try and zoom this in if I can a little bit. That's a little easier to read. 31 and 8/10 cents. The next one, 28.52. Now 28 and a half cents, essentially. Now this is Dogecoin. We laid out these pricing targets for you. Some of you were able to pick up on them, and you did pick up on them, and you executed. Okay, when you executed, you were able to profit from the entry points. Okay, these are the levels, okay, that the program is telling us are going to hit and are going to have some sort of a positive price trajectory. Okay, as things retrace, we know that we'll have, on the original, on the original positive price action, we'll go from what's considered a low to a high, and then we'll have some sort of a retracement. That's a very normal flow of the price action. Now, as it retraces and it hits these different important levels, okay, either the 23.6, if I recall correctly, 23.6 or the 38.2 or the 50% or the 61.8%. I don't want to get too mathematical with you, but these are the specific levels of retracement that you will experience, or that a pricing action will experience. And these are the levels that are given to us as a default as part of the program, the TradingView. Now this is a premium or a pro edition of TradingView. So I want you guys to know these are standard calculations that are put in by the program itself. So when we say that this was we said last night that that this specific target area was the 31 cents, 31 and 8/10 cents. Exactly, we met that today. That got picked up by the market maker. When we said that the next level down would be the 28.5, exactly, that was literally picked up by the market maker. So we delivered that information along with Twitter, Discord, letting you know, pushing out the information. This was picked up. Then we're up to X percentage, and we did that on a repeat basis, both with these two trades with Dogecoin, and in addition, we did it with the trade that we did on Harmony One. So I just will show you quickly. We did this in and around here. The entry point lets you guys know, entering lets you guys know, exiting. Showed you the overall percentage. That's all copied up to the Discord and the Twitter, so you guys can actually see and verify, no, yes, the timing matches up, yes, these were our trades, and yes, they're in line with our pricing targets from the days before. So some of you may be holding, and this may not be as interesting to you, but for the ones who want some technical expertise in addition to your holdings, or those of you who hold and you decide to trade, I think that it's very important to be able to kind of understand the entirety of the market and kind of what's going on with things. So we did draw this very particularly to this new pricing event. I want to talk about, and I did kind of diverge for a minute. I didn't mean to. I apologize about that. But let's get into the vertical pricing that we discussed. Guys, I think this is a very phenomenal example that you can hold on to in terms of pricing. We had up all these yellow, annoying, awful things yesterday, and everyone was like, why do you have all these yellow, awful types of events all over your chart? This does not look professional, right? Well, there's a reason that I had them on there, okay? And I want to talk about it right now, and you'll see exactly why I had them on there, and I think it's a really phenomenal part of the story that I want you to focus in on for a minute, and you will learn a lot. This was a dynamic call that we made here in terms of putting these up. These are in line with the Fibonacci timing sectors. If we use the Fibonacci timing tool, now we're using that for retracements. We're also using it for extensions. The Fibonacci timing tool, okay, gives us these different timing intervals, okay? That is setting up the price action for us, okay? And I laid that out yesterday in that this kind of relative low here. We start with the low to the high, we have a low, all right? The beginning of the trend, a high and a low. Okay, then we have a low, we go up to a high, okay? Then we go from a high to a low. Now these are intermittent yet still calculable in terms of they're either even paired or consistently paired, or they're even odd paired. I'd say have a 0-0 value or a 0-1 value. If you can understand that, they're either high to high, low to low, or high to a low within the confines of these timing intervals, okay? And that's important because they have some degree of an effect or some degree of a consistency or inconsistency, a direct or indirect kind of correlation amongst them as we're looking at kind of a high here, intermittent high, to the low. And it's interesting that there's near a complete retracement, which is an interesting, I'd say a very important portion of this timing interval as we look at the high from the previous low, okay, to the high. Then we see a complete retracement within this timing interval. I'm going to bring that over because as this was a low to a high, and this was a high up and down to essentially the next low, this was a portion that extended out and no one could really make sense of what was going on. Yesterday, when I streamed, okay, I brought you guys the information live, right? Now, when I was streaming yesterday, I brought up this information, and I brought up these annoying yellow lines, and everyone's like, what are you doing with these yellow lines? Well, those are the timing intervals, right? And I let you know specifically that we would expect something, and now these lines have not changed, these blue lines have not changed at all. I said we would expect something to occur by this right there, yellow line, okay? And I want you guys to look at what did occur by the time that we hit that yellow line. I want you to look at the fall off in price, okay? Just look at the fall off in price as we crossed past that yellow line. Okay, so this interval has completed, okay? After we passed through that Fibonacci timing frequency or timing interval, we literally started to experience just a gradual fall to the downside. So that is the timing that we're on. I bring that up because there's one of two possibilities right now. One possibility is that we are going to experience kind of an extended time period here between this action that has occurred right now and between essentially the next kind of, I'd say the next time period that we'll really be looking for some sort of a major event. I'm not sure. The other, if we're going to wait that long, guys, we're looking at we can measure the exact amount of time. Let's look at this. The exact amount of time is going to be in and around we're looking at 4 days, okay? So it may be quite a lengthy period of time. If that is not the case, okay, if it's not this extended period of time, we may go through a reset, okay? And I'm thinking that would be nice to go through a reset to kind of recharge things. We discussed yesterday, and I did say it probably 2 or 3 times. It did fly out of my mouth 2 or 3 times that yes, the ascending channel is a bearish technical pattern. Okay, so we do know that it's technically a very bearish pattern, the ascending, the rising channel. Okay, and this is something great. You could essentially, if you want to swing trade it, you can do a lot of different things. As you look at it, though, it's typically a very bearish pattern. I stated, as a matter of fact, Dogecoin does not like to behave by any rules. It has not been behaving by any rules. So to that effect, we did give you some positive price action to the upside, which I think is still valid. We will get there potentially at some point. I think Doge will like to heat up as the other coins start to cool off. It has a nice kind of, I'd say forward first kind of characteristic to it, that it's the outlier right now. It's the one that everyone is looking to and looking at. So as we look at this extended time period, this 4 days here, a lot can occur during that time period. We're kind of going through a consolidation here, a little bit triangulated if it weren't so much for the previous, just the consolidations that we had been through in the prior intervals. I would say, yeah, let's go ahead and draw that up as some sort of a triangulation. I don't think that's necessary right now. What I think is interesting is as we look at the patterning, the technique, or the technicals that's going on, if we look at what we have designated as A, if we look at A right here, if you see this, A, A is right now matched up with, after a high event here, okay, after the previous high event here, then when and around we got to 45 cents. A is matched up to a low, okay, kind of an intermittent low, where there's a positive price action and then a more severe low, all right? I have matched that up, and that's A and then B. You'll see that on your screen, A and then B, all right, with the golden arrow, that would be B, essentially the low. Now, in order to maintain, okay, a bullish trajectory here, we're going to want the 1, this intermittent kind of low, okay, to kind of match up with A. You see this intermittent low that we went on, or that we experienced after this huge surge to the upside in price. Okay, the brand new high. That was a phenomenal day, reaching 45 cents. Okay, we fell off to this. I'm just going to call it A, this intermittent low. Okay. Now that needs to kind of match up with this number 1 here. The A needs to match up with the 1. Both the green arrows, okay, need to match up to the extent that this would follow down again here. This follows down again here, and we get to the gold arrows. Okay, so the B needs to match up with the number 2 here. So we got the green arrows at kind of the intermittent lows. Then I need the gold arrows we would like to see to maintain the bullish nature of what's going on in Dogecoin. We need to see that the gold arrows represent, and that this interval specifically will represent, a higher low. okay? If that breaks down, and I like the symmetry a lot, okay, it's a nice pattern, kind of uptrend that would be consistent with this channel, with the formation and the benefit of this channel, the cost benefit of this, the price benefit achieved during this channel, essentially achieving a new high, which is somewhat rare, guys. It's somewhat rare to achieve a new high in an upward, diagonal channel like that. So the gold arrows need to be, it needs to be kind of be consecrated as this next low, and it needs to be a higher low. Okay, as of right now, that's holding. Now, as we got into this previous price action, you can see what occurred after this gold arrow. After this gold arrow, okay, right here, after this gold arrow, we had a huge positive surge in price like that. So it would be phenomenal to see that huge positive price in and around this area. It would be extraordinarily rare to see to see kind of a repeat of those events. Whatever does occur, it will be positive for the long term of Dogecoin if we're able to maintain, okay, some degree of positive price action up and above this area. So if the bulls are going to step in, and listen up, if the bulls are going to step in right now, it would be greatly to the advantage of the entire Doge community if we could get a positive, kind of a confirmation here and a lot of buyer support, and we establish this zone, this number 2 and that golden arrow, if we establish that as the higher low, okay, from this golden arrow, which is essentially B. So I've tried to lay those out so that you can see exactly what's going on, and so that we can kind of determine what's required to keep this on a positive trajectory. Now, in meeting our pricing targets, you guys know we do a lot of detailed technical analysis. What we decided to do was to leave this portion off. We'd already discussed that. What did that allow us to do? Well, it allowed us to perfectly get in at this pricing target. It also allowed us to perfectly get in at this pricing target. Guys, if we had done a standard Fibonacci, okay, down to the original levels, we would not have gotten in at this pricing target, okay? I guess we would have gotten in at this pricing target at a lighter level. So what this allowed us to do was to capture both of those events, and it's remarkable how both of them literally just matched up perfectly. The market maker just dipped down into each of them and allowed us to participate in these pricing actions. So as I talk about our trading, I talk about what goes on amongst our community. It is a market, guys. This is the cryptocurrency market, right? So we are bound and destined, and we enjoy it. We love it, guys. That's what we do, is we trade. So we like to be good at it, and a lot of you are showing phenomenal skills. I really enjoyed listening to you guys today tell me about you got in at such and such price, you followed this and that, and for me to know you guys were definitely in the money. In multiple occasions, you guys were doing very well on both Harmony One and on Dogecoin. So that's while things are kind of going in a retracement zone. Now, that's not the only way that we play things here. I want you guys to know, not at all. Okay, we played a beautiful breakout over here. We've done phenomenally well with the other pricing actions. So it's not just kind of trying to capitalize on the retracements. So that doesn't seem like too much fun anyway. Just waiting for the bounce, waiting for the positive, I guess the positive aspect of the retracement at the different levels of Fibonacci. So, but that is a component of it. While this action is occurring, I just have to tell you, we're familiar enough with the chart and the community. We know what's going on with essentially the fundamentals of both coins. We know the management team. Also, let's say the management team or Elon Musk. We know. Kind of the developing players or the developers, let's say the developers. And that's just the truth. So we know the story well, we know the price action well, we know from whence they come and hopefully to where they're headed. So that helps us kind of navigate the waters in terms of if anything becomes a little bit, I'd say if we develop any changes in the price action. This got a little bit severe in here today, I'll say that. And it kind of, it broke through, it kind of broke through the 50% retracement a little bit heavily, and it was just a real kind of severe move to the downside. While that was occurring, that did adjust kind of live, and I was discussing that with individuals in chat, etc. And if you guys would like to be a part of that group that gets these pricing targets, literally I was telling you, literally as it was going on, this is the entry spot right now, sending you that information. We thereafter saw, it go up. I think some of you experienced up to, a 22% gain, guys. So that was during today, that was going on. Some of you on the previous pricing target got up to a good 15%, guys. So that's a 15% and a 22% just back to back based on our pricing targets. So when we've discussed the levels of involvement in terms of potential capital, an increased demand or an increased amount of money invested as you go down. Why? Because we want to operate in line with the demand curve. Okay, the cheaper or the less expensive that something is, we're going to have more demand, meaning we're going to invest more dollars. So I like to use a double down or a triple down approach. So when we got to this, we had already doubled down, and bam, we get to kind of a triple down area where we're tripling down the amount invested here. So that worked out phenomenally well. I did discuss kind of involvement here yesterday. No problem. What is this? It's in the red zone. So what's our level of involvement, if anything? I discussed it very lightly just to kind of pepper in something, just not much at all, just to experience kind of the upside. But that's just not something that we trade heavily. If anything's in this red zone, the top level of the Fibonacci, that's not something we want to be involved in. And if we are, if it's just part of the ride, it's just part of the situation, it's not going to be heavy. We never get involved at the upper levels, and you guys know that. We discuss that all the time. Okay, just a light level of involvement, right? Just pepper in a little bit, next to nothing almost, but enough to where you can enjoy the upside action. Particularly if we're looking at kind of a bearish scenario. Now, just let's say at a retracement, okay, and a significant retracement, because this did break through this timing interval, this Fibonacci timing interval, and guys, it took a downturn. It was about a 37% drop. Okay, so while that was dropping 37%, you guys who've studied the market, right? There are options, there are puts, there's all types of things that you can get into in a trading context where you'll start to say, well, we hope it goes down. This is not the case. I want you to know this about the channel. It's not the case that we ever hope that the price of anything goes down. If it does break and it goes, we're the guys that are there. We are the strategists that help the price continue to the upside eventually. We essentially are the strategists looking to provide support at different levels. So it doesn't come down because we're ordering in at this level or we're not really heavily involved here. That's not the case, guys. There's a lot of institutional ownership of these types of instruments, along with like Bitcoin. It's a huge, vast field, okay, in terms of the investors. So do understand our intention is to cooperate and to try and support the holders and those who have a long-term interest and a strong interest in the community and in the price appreciation of Dogecoin. That's just the truth, or else we wouldn't tell it to you. So we do, however, while it is going down, we do look at an opportunity for entry into the market. And we do that at an extremely light level. If we're looking for something to break out of the upside of a rising channel, we discussed that yesterday. We did discuss these pricing targets perfectly, last night about this time. We discussed it perfectly. So, and it was nice to bring you guys the live update. We do have we have a Doge traders, we have a Doge traders section in the Discord. And I want you guys to look at that. It's going to be phenomenal. You can find that Discord link on our Twitter. So I want to show you guys where that is because we do have a new Doge traders, and guys, it's a good group in there right now. They traded today. They made money. They literally made money while this retracement was occurring today. I was on the phone with one of them. We had a great time on the phone, talking about technical analysis, etc. Just go in here, and you guys know the routine. It's The Kingdom, TheKingdom. All right, The Kingdom, and you'll type that in the search box. You'll have to scroll down to the very bottom. Don't look at any of these pictures. It won't be us. But the real The Kingdom is us. Click The Kingdom. It'll say go to The Kingdom. You'll pull us up. Go ahead and click on follow. Click on follow. And guys, we will put you in touch with the Doge trading community that we have put together. It's a really nice community, guys. We went through today all of these pricing targets. As this was going down, we were making money. All right. I was literally at the gym, I was pumping some iron. I was like, this is the price entry, this is the price exit based on yesterday. It's, order complete, I'm out. Literally, time to do some more sets. That was literally the way it was going because I wanted to have that communication and that contact with you especially while these orders were going on, because I wanted to be able to bring up in a real fashion. You guys can review the actual photographs, etc., or the screenshots. Just click on the Discord right here. It says Discord link. No problem. Just bam. Just click on that and go over and start checking out, the different screenshots that we were able to provide of literally, entry, exit. And you guys know from the video last night, it was literally, these have not changed. Every one of these represents a retracement level at which we're willing to become involved. And as we step down, we're willing to become involved at an increased multiple level, i.e. doubling down, starting with an amount here, doubling down in and around here, tripling down in and around here, and another multiple there on beyond. So that is the way the big heavy hitting strategists or the big heavy hitting investors, we're talking about institutional hedge funds, etc. I have a nice background personally with owning a hedge fund. So private hedge fund, I'll just say a private hedge fund. So that's the way that these guys play ball, in terms of the crypto market and their involvement in it. They're looking at this, that yes, at certain levels, and I'll bring up, I won't even talk about Bitcoin, but they will pound their chest and say, yes, at certain levels we're able to, we're willing to and able to. They've got the cash to do it, and they're able to do it. And they're able and willing, so they've got the cash and they're willing to do it. Two different things, but they will. They are willing to put in that extra cash at the lower levels. So that's a big thing that they can double down into that. It requires some reserve cash. It doesn't, it's not going to lend, the opportunity or the strategy is not going to lend itself towards, and this is an important component of it, towards your becoming too involved, and over leveraged at any kind of a high position, any kind of a high price. That is not part of any kind of winning strategy. If you plan to buy high to sell low, it's not going to work. It's going to be frustrating, and essentially the market maker is going to wash you out. So we don't want you guys to get washed out like that. We want you to be a part of the great community that we're building. So I bring that up in terms of we have a really cool crew. It's very professional. We have people from all over the world. So, and you guys do know that, and I think it was a great day because I got to talk with some of you guys in person, and you were making money. So that's phenomenal. 1, 2, and 3 trades here total for 45% all told. That's a good day, guys. And it was relatively smooth because we had these pricing targets laid out so well. It was just really, really laid out very well ahead of time. We were able to experience that and to kind of enjoy it as a community. So, and I know a lot of people, you guys have to bring this back into focus. There are some people getting involved at the higher levels right now. For a lot of the people, like some of my best friends here in town, they got involved in Dogecoin at 0.007. So that's kind of, people are still well in the money here. This is just kind of an opportunity for us to trade, have a good time, etc. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of what supports the market, kind of provides the stability to the market, in addition to some big players. So I know today was 420, right? That was supposed to be a big day and a big event. It's not necessarily over yet. So it's about 11 o'clock in Texas right now. And I'd like to know in the chats where you guys are from. That'd be great to know where you guys are from. As we talk about kind of the the details of kind of the community that we have and what all is going on. So we've been through basically the kind of the bare bones of what occurred today. We went through a real nasty kind of spill out. Now it's not the first one that has occurred, right? No, it happened here. That was a loss of 50% of your money. Or your holdings. Now that's a traumatic day. It just is. And for me to get on and say, well, today we made money, I have to tell you the strategy. I mean, if I were to hold this back, I want you guys to appreciate, if we had a strategy to make money on the upside and the downside, who would I be? I mean, just in general, who would I be to withhold that? I mean, who would I be to sit there and say, well, yeah, we made money, but we're not going to tell anybody. We're not going to tell anybody what we're doing. That's I don't know. I find that lacking decorum. I would say, just a nice way to put that. I don't think that's very. It's not a very classy thing to do. So we try and just be open, kind of an open book in terms of what we're able to accomplish in and around surrounding these or involved with these negative pricing events called a retracement. It's a normal aspect and of the market. So that's where that is. I did want to bring up, let's talk about one other thing. If I could bring up, I'm going to try and see if we could discuss something that the other morning I really got out there, and you guys should definitely listen to this. And first of all, shout out to Yoski, shout out to Red Raider, all the guys who are doing a great job helping mod. Those guys are terrific. A lot of knowledge. You guys can pick up on a lot of technical skills. I wanted to bring up CZ and Binance, guys. As you talk about Robinhood, or we talk about Binance that just recently got, had a problem. Okay, Binance had a problem with, I think they were holding up, what was it? Some sort of a network issue. And then around the time that Dogecoin was going through this phenomenal spike, yeah, first time it was Robinhood. They may have had some problems here with Robinhood too, but in around the 16th of April, when we were hitting to, what was it, 45 cents, we were a part of the price action here. Okay, in around this time, if you'll recall, the servers got overloaded. That was by Binance. Big shout out to Binance. Okay, we hope everyone's doing well. We hope your management team is doing well. I grilled you guys the other day, and it wasn't just kind of a roast. It was a real grilling, talking about the need for your infrastructure, the need for development because people's money is on the line. And that all of this could have occurred back in January or February in terms of the positive price action and the movement for Dogecoin. It could have happened earlier. It did not. Okay, there was a frustration by Robinhood at that time. Now it was the frustration here recently by Binance. I just kind of spun off, not just a rant or this that, just I kind of spun off into Binance the other morning. It was an early morning. We were having some positive price action, so I wanted to get with you guys. We had brought up a pricing target there before. People were involved in the pricing target, so to that extent, we got involved and we woke up. And I think that morning it was a nice, what was that, 30% or 25, 30%? We called it a day, I think, in and around here, didn't we? Yeah, we did. It was this area right here. The coach blew the whistle on the football field. So this was kind of the entry in and around here. Well, it was right in and around here. We had multiple entries here. This one here, as I recall it, and then maintenance within that channel. And we blew the whistle around here. It was a phenomenal gain, as I recall it, particularly. So that worked out very well. Also, these were also pricing targets. Pricing target here, profit. Pricing target in here again, picked up again. We called it at here. Okay, profit. Pricing target here, mild involvement here, very, very light involvement, guys, very light involvement. We discussed that last night. Pricing target here gets normalized here. You're in the red zone, nothing much. When you break into the green, yeah, we have some involvement, okay? Just something to ride the way up if it's going to ride the way up after we had exited, just to be a part of the action, just something, small little hand before we walk out of the casino. Here you go, just tip the dealer. Just not a big deal. So in line with here, maybe a bit more than that, but you understand the concept. In here, in this level, more action, okay? Something significant. I normally say, well, it's just maybe 100, like $100, okay? For you, you may add a zero, you may add a couple zeros, 3 zeros, maybe 100,000. If it's 100,000 or if it's $100, it's going to be double that at this area, in this next level down in this teal area. Now, why do we talk about that? Well, it's a double down, triple down approach. What I'm trying to instill in people's minds is the fact that as you go down into different levels, in order for you to survive in this, you can either cut off a bad trade, okay, if you have an entry, but if you're that sophisticated enough to where you're literally going to be trading and entering at a price target, okay, or you're targeting anything, and you're going to say, well, if it goes down X percentage, I'm just going to sell. You don't even know if you're in a channel, if that's normal. I'm going to say that, I don't think that's a very sophisticated approach when you're entering, just to say, because if you're in a channel, you may indeed go down 10%, be out, and it may be a positively structured channel to where it's actually bullish in formation. So understand that that's not the best route to always take unless, if you're going to enter a stop loss, you need to make sure of the channel, you need to make sure of the pricing action and understand exactly what you're getting into. So what we do, instead of the stop loss, kind of the hit and stop loss, if it sticks, that's fine. If not, we're down 10%, that's fine, we'll get out. Instead of that, given the incredible volatility, okay, of Dogecoin, we pick out retracement levels to become involved at. All right, that's how we were able to literally deliver this price, bam, on the money. Okay, people made good money, bam, on the money. Everybody made good money. We were live during that. Okay, from this point, from ahead of time, we gave you these pricing targets, bam, bam, right? Then we were able to, in and around here, release this pricing target live. And I just said, the coach has blown the whistle on the football field. It's over. We were exhausted. I got up about 3 or 4 that morning just to make sure you guys knew as a community that yes, we were involved in trying to get you guys the accurate information to maximize your gains. It went sideways for a while. It maintained in this channel. Then what happened? Well, it went ahead and it spilled out after the expiration. You see this thin blue line, the expiration of the Fibonacci timing interval. So that's a key interval. Yes, this was a beautifully laid out, kind of channel during that interval. We had this up before it broke down. It broke past that. I said, we're expecting something just right in this zone. Sure enough, in line with the technical analysis I performed, bam, to the downside. So that was a really, really severe move here. It really felt like there was a lot of extra momentum in here, and that extra momentum as it went from our first to second trade here in this zone. Again, there have been multiple entry points with multiple positive pricing actions, multiple gains in and around these different areas. And a really positive exit here. We went through the derivative analysis, kind of the extrapolation of what we could have expected, and this felt like a really good exit for us on this specified entry price, prior entry price on the 17th. Now on the ones today, on the circumstances today, the first one was kind of a gentle, kind of entry, not a big problem into this zone, this price target we discussed yesterday, not a big deal. The second one got just a little severe into here, and it carried some extra momentum. And I just want to kind of, show in here, given the fact that this was the pricing target right in here, it really just felt like it slammed through the floor. And it was severe enough at the time it slammed through the floor, picked up the pricing target exactly, but it just dug on down into it. And it was one of these situations where, like, well, it could just cave on down through this. It didn't. It held this level, the 50% retracement, or the 28 and 3/10 cents. It held that, and now on the line chart, it looks a little bit nicer. It did appreciate in value again. This one, I decided, I literally had a conference call, and I literally posted up on Discord. It was like, you guys try and beat me through for the day, okay, if you want to. And they're like, yeah, we're going to try. I had, with the other trades I had, I think I was with this 10%. I said, I'm going to take it at 10%. I've got to do a conference call with some guys in the Discord. We're talking about investments and technical analysis. So I had to make a beeline discussion for them, get ready for that. I said, fine, I'm going to cash this out 10%, not a problem. But everything was live today. It was extremely live. You can see the overall benefit on this was in and around, I'd say 21%. If you followed exactly into the pricing target that we had. And people did, guys. You executed exactly on that. Congratulations. That is awesome. I'm very, very excited that you guys are here, and we'd like to hear about you having made money today, because I know I've talked with several of you that made money. So amidst this, temporary chaos, and we're never assured where the price is going to go. We're never guaranteed. It's never made for certain that they're going to just point out the fact it's just going to go up from here on out. That's not the way it works. It's a volatile market, especially with Dogecoin and the other instruments we're looking at right now. So as we look at this, 23.4%, and I was, actively involved in the Discord when other people did hold on, and I said, are you happy now? Are you happy now? Even from the point in time of the entry, I'll just tell you guys, from the point in time of the entry to right now, to 317, you're still up 10, 11%. That's not huge, but guys, if you're playing with a little bit more money, doubled and tripled down, and you get into here and doubled and tripled down, you're starting to play with some money. And depending upon, if you're a heavy investor, you're starting to play with a little bit of money, and enough that, you could have taken probably the 20%, been happy. It is, if this was about 15, it's a realizable gain around this first level. And you can see the wicks, literally just market maker coming down, picking these up, giving some people some positive price action, achieving the next level, picking the people up, and giving them some positive price action, okay? That doesn't necessarily need to occur. People are wondering, if it does occur, are they going to hit this 50% again? Are they going to hit this, one more time, or are they going to go on down to the golden pocket? The golden pocket is kind of a golden ratio that's used for growth. All right, so it's not a bad thing that if it were to hit it, but we don't necessarily want to. I'll just be honest. We don't necessarily want to erase all of the gains that have been so phenomenally made over this previous time period. If that does occur, the individuals who are going to wind up making the money are those placing trades. So that's kind of the crowd that we are in. While I'll say this, while we achieved a more than a 50% retracement of the pricing action, so before we judge this way or not, you can kind of give some credit to the people who developed the strategy, and it's used by a lot of the big investment houses, some of the bigger, larger, and they're actually involved in some crypto spaces, guys. So you can pay attention to those. And in terms of financial advice, this is not financial advice. None of this is. I know you guys do your own research and you're very, very diligent. So I saw a lot of that today, and I appreciated seeing all of that. We still have our overhead targets, just so you know, lined up at the 54-cent mark, at the 73-cent mark, and the 97.5 mark. So those will be on the extensions if and when this decides to pick up. It does, again, kind of look like it's needling out to the right and kind of a triangulated pattern. Okay, I don't want to necessarily call this because it's not essential that we do, given the fact that we may have a bit of limited information, and it may just be compressed. It may just be kind of a normal compression. I'd just say that would be maybe a normal compression area. So if it does decide to go, and I'm very hesitant about ever drawing these out, guys, because if you watch the channel, you just know I may put it up and I may take it down. I don't want it to stick because I don't want people necessarily trading on a triangulated pattern right now. I don't think it does much good. It's going to be more. It's going to cause more harm than just maybe a standard W might cause. If we could get into a W formation here, that might be good, and it might signify the bottom of a trend here. We might head on up to the upside. So instead of calling this to be, and we could draw it out. We could try and place an exit from the triangulated pattern, etc., from this previous kind of low point, etc. We could get into that. The better option for everyone is for us to get into some sort of a W pattern. I just say, real simply put, if we could just not do that. I'm just going to say that because I think that has some implications which are a little bit bearish. I think that'd be a little bit bearish if we were to just kind of consolidate like that. It might be a little bit bearish, and I'd like to keep things positive. So, and it's kind of got a big gap in this area, which is kind of a problem with the formation of it. So I'm very particular about those in terms of formations, triangles, etc., pennants, flags, everything. I'm very, very, and this is why, because if there's kind of a big gap or hole, and even though it's exhibiting some degree of a kind of a channeled consolidation into a triangulated pattern, I use this because I'd rather see it just turn into a W. I'd rather us just look back and say, hey, there was a W formation. Well, fantastic. That's what we needed to get back to the upside. So that's the degree to which we're rooting. Okay, we're trying to get everything back to the upside. That's crucial. Okay, that's in our playbook. That's the front cover, and the back cover is get this thing to the upside, and it's all throughout the pages throughout. Essentially, if you were to read us cover to cover, that's what we want to occur for Dogecoin. We love the story. We want the same thing for our other subscribers that we love so much. Harmony One, we think it's fantastic, and we like the price action. It needs to pick up. The management team needs to pick up. Binance, I think, has some duties there. Robinhood and Binance have some duties on Dogecoin. I went off on CZ the other morning. I want you guys to know, after I did that, CZ opened up today, and he says, we are currently experiencing a 10x increase in BNB withdrawal requests compared to last week. Listen to this, guys. Conspiracy theories were abound when the Ether network had congestions. Trust me, we're not working against Ether or BNB. Working. Okay, so this today, you guys heard that big rant yesterday I went through. I mean, grilled into CZ. What happened today? BNB withdrawals are temporarily suspended, okay? That's literally, guys, that's this guy literally suspending withdrawals of BNB. People wanted to take BNB out. There was a kind of a crash scenario of a lot of panic in the market over Bitcoin, and Binance is locking down their own coin, which I think people have invested in, etc. So they were trying to come up with something on Bitcoin to make it positive or otherwise. In the midst of that, where people were trying to unload out of things like BNB, his own coin, he literally called the stops and he called the withdrawals off on his own servers on his own coin. And then he says, I want everyone to know we're not working against that. And I looked at the prices and I'm like, whatever there is at mind, and I want you guys to stay informed of this, whatever is going on there, I'll just tell you, this happened, the same thing happened with Binance. Now, it threw Harmony One into a sideways pattern. When that happened to Dogecoin, I remember back in February with Robinhood, it threw Dogecoin into a sideways, pattern. It ruined the price activity. So we've had Binance ruin the price activity of And really, I say Binance has ruined the price activity of Harmony One. It's also potentially ruined the price activity of Dogecoin. We remember these servers being overloaded, right? Now, I'm going to bring this up because I think it's highly interesting that it's potentially ruined both Harmony One and Dogecoin recently, right? And that's in addition to Dogecoin getting hit with by Robinhood. And then I'm going to bring up the BNB. Let's look at what happened with BNB today, because they had a problem, didn't they? Yeah, they had, he sends out something. I'm so sorry. I want you guys to know no one can withdraw their BNB, which is the Binance coin. Well, what happened to BNB? Well, that went through the roof. I mean, that happened to BNB, and good heavens, huh? I mean, that went up 26%. So I just think it's kind of odd. I want you guys to stay abreast of that information, aware of the information, and whatever goes on at the corporate level with these guys internationally, let that be their deal. I don't want to really dwell on that, but I do want to bring that up. You've got 20+%. If you look at all of this, you don't know when this started to occur, but you've got 40%, and that's a decent move there. I had to make 3 trades today and send that out to all you on the price entries and exit and everything else. I guess if you just want to. If you would just like to lock people's holdings down or something like that. But it's odd that it works in his favor. That's his coin for his exchange. So it works in his favor to the upside on pricing. But for Dogecoin, no. For Harmony One, no. And Dogecoin and Harmony One are hot commodities. They were doing extremely well. And Harmony One didn't have to go through all this retracement, didn't have to go down this line. It's one thing, it's part of the price action. But are we going to create another channel like what was created with Dogecoin? I have to ask. Very similar. I'd say communities, both very nice communities trying to support each other and do good things. Harmony. Hello, Harmony, Dogecoin, do only good every day. They're good communities. Both of them have experienced this problem with Binance. So I bring that up because I really did go off into them the other morning where we were talking about the exit on this trade with the price entry here when we had brought that up ahead of time. We had brought up those pricing entries around in this area here. Bam. We brought you the pricing entry that occurred here and here. Okay, and you had a double look at it. I think about 8,000 people saw that video. So there were enough people to be able to ride this up that it was a good story. So yeah, that worked out well, but we didn't have to necessarily be in that channel. So I look at the exchanges. I look at, as we talk about regulation, you guys can kind of understand. A lot of people think, oh no, we don't want this stuff regulated. Well, at some point, are they talking about regulating our holdings? Or are they talking about regulating these exchanges? Because I know like the state of Texas or certain, maybe, I'm not sure, California or some other places, UK, we were talking to a guy from England today, what's permitted there, what's not permitted. Some of these exchanges aren't. And I think it's for reasons like this, because things get kind of thrust into, into the corner here in timeout. You have to go sit in timeout, and all the people who hold this have to go into timeout. While I'm just curious because as we look at King CZ here, what's the story, right? Well, BNB withdrawals are temporarily suspended due to a large volume increase causing a withdrawal backlog. You haven't been able to withdraw anything out of there. And normally when you can't withdraw anything, what happens? The price goes down. Why does his price go up 40%? I'm just real curious about that kind of stuff. So the regulation from if it's DC, FinTech, whatever needs to go on, whatever the case is, that's a very strong point. These other cases, these other financial concerns, everything is just getting drowned out when there's enormous, beautiful price action to the upside, beautiful demand for the product for Dogecoin and for Harmony One that both get interrupted, and that's not just the original one with Robinhood. I'm talking about recently. I'm talking about earlier this week, last week, right, when the servers got overloaded. The same story with Dogecoin. It was going phenomenally well. Why is he pumping the brakes so hard and making people literally go down 50% in their earnings? Come on. You're going down 50% of your earnings and he's going up 40% in his. He's blocking with the withdrawals on BNB. I mean, guys, you got that, right? From the 45 high here, right? It got up to 45. From that 45 down to the 23, that was literally people losing. Anyone who got involved at the top, 50%. Retracement, that's a big deal, guys. So we experienced a 50% retracement. Now I got into this and I didn't experience all of that. So not necessarily me, but people who got in and didn't know how to trade or something else like that, they literally experienced a 50% retracement or a 50% reduction in the value of their account. My gosh, while his coin gets locked down and mysteriously, and he's always this guy just doesn't know. I just don't know. It's not financial advice and I just don't know the answer to that. Well, I'd like to know the answer to that. How does his get locked down? And he gets, what is it? He goes up 40%. Yeah, I don't care if someone's the sharpest tool in the shed or not in terms of, being just brilliant. You don't have to be brilliant to understand. How does that make any sense? He locks his down and goes up 40%. Dude, what? 40%? While literally the other ones get locked down and go down 40 or 50%? So I'm going to just bring that up because I really twisted off on him the other morning. And it was, I was up early. We were waiting for the price to do something. And I wanted to say that. Now, that was before he came out with the news that he locked his own coin down so that he could make, so that I guess he could make, they made 40% on theirs. Fancy, huh? Real fancy stuff. I don't know how that works, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. Apparently, they have also, after I did that rant, just a coincidence, but they have decided to hire a new CEO. Okay, so maybe he can get it together and actually interface with some of these people. Some of the regulation, maybe it's good. If they're doing that with everyone's holdings and they're kicking you sideways here and making people lose 50% of their holdings, I mean, come on, guys. Maybe they need to have. No, I'm not sure the politicians or the guys who need to be in charge of that. Maybe let's let Elon decide what he wants to do. He's some red-pilled guy. I don't know what that means, but he's a red-pilled guy. Maybe he can figure out what's supposed to happen. I don't know. Someone can. Maybe not us, but at least we can talk about it. I want you guys to stay informed. So as we look at those issues, those are kind of the dynamics in terms of the overall market action, what's thrust us into this. Same thing with Harmony One. What has thrust us into this, okay? Same thing that's thrust us into this, and you can look at the two charts, okay? They're relatively similar, but the same thing that thrust us into this, it's the same little cat behind both of them. And I'm like, at some point I'm like, really? We got to play with this cat? I mean, we got more to do than sit there and, be talked to by this guy while he's making 40% on his coin. Little kiddo, huh? Making 40% on your coin, locking yours down to make money, and everybody else gets locked down to have to hustle and sweat around you. That's not too cool. I think that we seem to be a little bit more educated and have a little bit more intelligence than to just continually take that. So I'm not sure how that'll get stepped up in terms of maybe a regulation, but a kid like that maybe needs to be regulated. I'm calling him a kid because you'd have to, I don't know the appropriate thing to call him, and I don't think it's sir right now. So I'll just call him kid. That kid needs to learn something. That at least we recognize that his coin went up 40% while ours all goes down 50%. Now, we don't have to be involved in the negative pricing action. I guess to the extent we can look at this, guys, to the extent, and we can bring this up, to the extent that you see the volatility is positive and you want to trade the volatility at lower levels while there's a sustained market or a sustainable market, okay? I mean, a sustainable bull market, okay? While that's occurring, if we're being thrown down to just trade additionally, I guess I could see the argument. I mean, maybe a guy like that would say, maybe the kid like that would just say, well, why don't we give them some more volatility to work with their trading? I don't know if those diagnostics occur like that. Do you guys think that is possible? It is possible that they would sit back and they would say, well, Dogecoin's, it's going to be phenomenally volatile. Let's work on the pricing for a while. Let's let these guys trade, because that's what we do. I mean, anyone from Binance or otherwise that knows what we do, and you guys know what we do here, that's what we do is we trade. And I mean, we trade, relatively intelligently, okay? We're at kind of the institutional framework. We've adopted a lot of that in our strategy. We explain it continually, okay, to people as they come into kind of our circles so that they can understand, but it's phenomenally successful. All right, it's phenomenally, let's say, accurate, okay, and it's efficient in terms of achieving a low market price, avoiding risk, okay, risk mitigation or de-risking, all right, and an accumulation at a lower cost basis. And it works in line with market demand. If it's too expensive, we don't want it. As it gets less expensive, or really less expensive, or highly affordable, we want a lot of it at those lower levels. Excuse me. So that's the market that we kind of principle that we bring into scope, and we use a lot of technicals, and we are using their software. So I just say maybe that decision is made up along the way, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe that's kind of misplaced, but it just seems kind of like a dagger in the side here that when they play around with theirs, their their own coin. When BNB plays around with their own coin, it goes up 40%. All right, and we have to enter into 3 different trades along a retracement. It's just, I guess, the whole feeling of it. We have to enter into 3 different trades. One here, which we went live with. We literally provided all this information, so it's not a question at all, the veracity of this. Another one here and another one here. 2 on Doge. 3 trades to get 45%. All that BNB had to do was lock their own system down, I guess, and prevent withdrawals. That throws everyone else's coin goes into a slide, but his goes up. So it's kind of one of those deals. It's kind of like, we really have to work that hard. I understand we like to trade. We enjoy spending time. We enjoy the dynamics and teaching and learning and everything else. But you understand the dynamic there. It's like, well, he's just going to flip the keys off again for his crew. And for us, it's like, well, let's hustle. Let's get in on this. So we're constantly on, spreading the good news about we just hit our price target. Okay, now we're out. Now we're going to go to our next price target. It's kind of like we're in some unnecessary boot camp when you guys could literally be sitting at $1. I know that. And I think everyone knows that right now. You guys could so be at $1 in Dogecoin right now. It's not even in question. And I'd like, what's the deal with, BNB? Does that need to go up 40%? Why didn't, and I have to ask, let's look at this, guys. The ultimate question here, and please pay attention. Why didn't Dogecoin go up today at the end of this pricing interval? Because we have Mr. Binance, again, pointing to server irregularities, right? Yeah, so we have the possibility, and I'm glad I got to this, we have the possibility of going up, continuing this pattern, and beating all the odds, and then we have another instance, and this is just another instance, I got to tell you, I almost have to figure this into my charts, because it's another instance where I've kind of drawn something out, and I've said, yeah, and I think it could do this, and I think it could do this, and I'll tell you, another instance where, bam, this guy's on the screen, all right, this guy right here. And at some point, that interferes with the technical, let's say the technical abilities of or the dynamics of the market, to the point it becomes a little bit distasteful, I'd say, to say the least. But you understand, the market should kind of operate to where people who are good at markets, like you guys and me and everyone else, to where we can kind of predict and we can say, yes, given these inputs, it's going to go up here. Not to where it completely bleeds off for no reason. And I mean down, like hard to the downside. You look at these candles, it was really, really going down like that, right? And while his coin was going up, wham, 40%, and he's a top market cap coin, in competition with who? In competition with Dogecoin, right? So it's just fancy that his gets locked down. He locks his down. When Dogecoin gets locked down, or Harmony One gets locked down, those are two. The long lost brother of Dogecoin is Harmony One, going through the same kind of heat. Okay, Harmony One got up to what 20 cents real quickly. This got up finally to 20 cents. It's at 32 cents. This meaning Dogecoin. But when this is trying to, when Dogecoin or Harmony One, etc., but particularly when Dogecoin, just due to its market cap, is trying to launch into that top, let's say 3 to 5, right, on market cap, what happens? Well, that's going to threaten who? Well, that's going to threaten this guy, right? That's going to threaten Mr. CZ. Right? Because he wants his to be more valuable. He wants the bigger, hand at the table. But isn't that just funny? So what does he do? He releases this, that BNB withdrawals are temporarily suspended, like today, right? That happened today. And then what happens? Well, Dogecoin just happens to just break down. Bam. Big, huge hit to market cap. All right? Huge hit to market cap on Dogecoin. 37%. 30% drop. Let's just say 30%. I think total 37% if we look at the candles. All right, the 37% drop in market cap. Good gosh, while his goes up 40%. Really? Wow, huh? Wow, wow, wow. So you start to see some of the dynamics of what this looks like. And that's just, guys, that's pretty stout stuff, huh? From 430 here recently, 430 to 590. Okay. So you see what's happening along the games that happen in these top levels. And you see, like this guy, you think he's innocent? You think this whole thing just is perfect? You think we're playing with all the rules? I know we're not, because every time I draw something on a chart, I'm good enough technically. And if I do draw something, I may mention something otherwise, but it just seems like the whole market sentiment is going in a certain direction that is up, 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 up. And then what happens? Well, someone gets locked down. He locks his own coin down, and for the first time, that makes a positive difference for his price. And then we get, we just get the whatever kind of remnants of, having to rebuild from ours. While we're losing 30%, 37%, he's gaining 40% in market cap. I mean, come on. This is just, it gets to the point, guys. It's just wild to discuss. You have to understand when we make calls. Now, a lot of the calls do work out, but you get to the point. Do we really appreciate and we understand these, kind of the dynamics we're going through? We have to couch it like that. So I know you guys understand that. I wanted to fully discuss that because not everyone's going to discuss it like this in the context of Dogecoin going down. Why? Well, what went up? Binance, bam, 40%. All right, and who made the call? This guy. Just so you know that. Because we're going to look back on this as a historical event. Dogecoin did go down. Binance did go up. And Binance has been hurting recently. People haven't wanted Binance at all. Nobody's wanted Binance. Everybody's wanted Dogecoin. Period. So all of a sudden he's locked things up on his server again, when he just did that to Dogecoin. You guys see what's happening? He just did that to Dogecoin. Okay, in and around this area. And threw it down. Now he's done it again? What the heck is going on? Honestly, what is going on? Good heavens, guys, I have no idea. There's nothing really positive I can say about that. I guess we're just trading and holding at the whim of Binance. It's just, or Robinhood. It's absurd at some level. I guess that encourages us to kind of hold things lightly. All right, in terms of this whole process, we focus on people. Why don't we do that? We focus on each other. We focus on community. Good things. We try and build and instill in each other those dynamics that we want to see that maybe other people don't have. So we'll create some dependability on our own behalf with each other and things like that. We'll try and maybe not be so judgmental of other people and him or the situation, but I'll call a spade any day of the week. And that looks, that's my outlook on that. So I hope you guys appreciate just hearing that knowledge. They got a new CEO, all right? So I don't know if that's going to help the situation. I don't want to really profile him at all on here. But if you guys would like to see, let's look at Binance so we can see hire CEO. Let's see, hire CEO. Here we go. Here's the new player right here. Binance US hires former OCC chief Brian Brooks as new CEO. All right. Well, that's the new cryptocurrency king there, who's going to interface with, I guess, the government and everyone else. That's fine. I hope you do well, Brian. I hope that you realize as you're shutting down things like the people's popular holdings in the form of Dogecoin and the Dogecoin and Harmony One and all the other ones, is you're limiting. While you're doing that, literally, patently, obviously in front of us, and you're just escalating the price of yours in a contradiction to any kind of reason or logic. It's just there's a 30% swing to the negative on everything else, but you're going up 40%. I just hope that's I guess that's par for the course. Maybe I have no idea, but maybe it will earn all of them a congressional hearing real quickly. Maybe we can all go through that, and maybe someone will make a good video on or something. I don't know that I will, but that's the update on that. Okay, in terms of, well, why didn't we do it last night? We were talking about move to the upside. Yeah, we were. And then Mr. CZ gets involved. His coin goes up, gets locked down. Oddly, server issues again. This is the second time this has happened, guys. The second time that this has kind of happened in the last with an identifiable event. Server issues, right? And I have to give it in terms of the timing. It's odd. It becomes odd in terms of the timing because these things hit within the Fibonacci's. These blue lines, they still hit. It's like, it's still the news. Still, bam. All right. Still these events. It happens right on target. So that's the nature of probably the programming that they're set up to. And we're probably not supposed to know too much about that, so we maybe won't comment on it completely. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Now, it looks like things are kind of consolidating, but what are we fighting against? Definitely, I don't think we're fighting against each other. I would just encourage everyone to support your communities here that we're involved in and just have a good time. If someone's not perfect, let's just try and, let's do the best we can anyway. Let's try and achieve positive gains. Let's try and understand the holders. Holders try and represent and understand and support us traders as well, because it's kind of what we're born for. Maybe that's what you guys are born for. So we look forward to all those issues resolving themselves. And we can kind of go into the chats a little bit. I thought tonight, if you guys want to look at any other coins, or you wanted to look at any other charts or something like that, we could kind of get into that. You can shout out where you're from in the comments section. I'll bring up again, guys, I went through the trades today that were based upon literally the information brought up last night. I drew a special Fibonacci sequence, okay, and it was a special sequence for those of you who knew how I decided to draw it. And it literally gave us the entry prices, and the entry prices were down, guys, like we would not have gotten it with a standard Fibonacci. So I was glad I made the changes in the Fibonacci that I did, and that was just based on some fundamental just kind of an approach that I took that I thought was very reasonable. And it was a big carve out though on the traditional kind of the traditional way to approach the Fibonacci. So we did make out perfectly on this move. We made out perfectly on this move. These were both provided last night, both of these levels. Okay, you guys know that if you listened, and I'm telling you the truth. So I walked you through all those trades today, and I spent some extra time because it's a new community. You may not know, like this guy's talking about pricing targets, and is it just a patch up routine on the backside? No. Not at all. I'm live there with you literally all day, sending you screenshots and everything else. We're in here. We decided we're out. We're in here. We decided we're out. That's just it. I'm not going to share your personal information. You're not getting my account number, nothing like that. But you're getting the directed kind of in line with the strategy to see that, yes, this stuff works, right? I mean, this channel works. Yeah, we have a very good group. We have, I think, the best group around in terms of investors, people interested in learning kind of advanced market strategy and in supporting each other and educating one another. We have a lot of people with business, banking, economic, kind of economy related jobs, those types of backgrounds and educations from business school to technological geniuses. There's some guys, I don't know how they do what they do in our group, but they're very smart technologically, and they understand all the details of everything that's going on. Looks like we have, who is this? Chris Abbott. Chris Abbott, that is fantastic. Let's see what we have. The crappin' server. That's right, the crap. Charlie Abbott. I was like, Charlie, you make me crack up, man. What's going on, Charlie? Welcome back to the crypto kingdom. He is just awesome. Charlie Abbott in the house, guys. A big shout out to Charlie. And you guys look Charlie up in and around where you can because he's awesome. He was here and around yesterday. But listen, the crappin' server went down on the first Doge pump. I caught the bounce with 2,500 profit. Tried to exit. Nope. Shut down for 4 hours. $2,100 loss. Oh my gosh. You see what happens, guys? Do you see what happens, huh? Yeah, this is the story of Charlie Abbott. Charlie, thank you for the support of the channel. That means a lot, and these people need to hear stories exactly like yours. That is a phenomenal story. You guys see exactly what has happened to Charlie and to people like that. So yeah, as we highlight things like this, this is real money, guys. Charlie's got real money on the line. These are guys in our community. So I'm glad I've been able to talk about this, and I brought this up to everybody's attention that we're kind of having a detailed dialogue on that. We get to learn about the community because that's serious stuff. Charlie, we are sorry, brother. That is the word actionable just kind of comes to mind. That is actionable, brother. And I hope that we get some resolution from who's this guy right here. This does it look like he's going to fix it? I don't know. I don't know if he cares, but I don't know. I think you should care. So let's just think about that in the long run. That's interesting. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Now we got desert stuff. I appreciate that desert stuff. That's a nice, cool chat there, bro. That is very cool. Keep it up. Yeah, we're working out. Huh? Keep it up. We'll keep it up. No problem. No problem whatsoever. So we've got kind of a little expose going on as to why you guys are in this little gulch here. The good news is we're able to make some money in along the gulch, and it's just it's precision work. You guys have to know that, and we'll keep up the precision work. So if you doubt at all the level of precision and the level of returns, you can stay tuned. I promise, because we continue, believe it or not, we continue to do this every day, every few days. We continue to do this. If something's in a continuation pattern, and there's no reason to move, we don't move. But I'll tell you guys, we continually continue to do this. So that's what makes this channel phenomenal, and that's what makes you guys phenomenal for being a part of this channel, because we couldn't do this without you, which is, I mean, it's cool, guys. We have a really phenomenal, trading group. You guys are doing really well, and we're excited for you. You understand the philosophy here. The money's stacked on the bottom, right? And it's like, little fractions of it up along the way. Now, it doesn't mean there's nothing up here. All right, it still can be significant amounts of money. You make 45% today on 3 different trades. I showed those to you all day long. I was like hand holding you saying it's going in, it's going out. That's it, we're out of the market, right? 15%. You see how it's done. I was just doing it not to be condescending at all. I was just like, these people need to see this because they don't know. So Twitter, here you go. Discord, here you go. And we did that. And because it was a big day too. We had Harmony One that was, really down after being shut down by Binance. So yeah, I know Binance has some, don't they have a contract, with Harmony One? It's a great. I mean, guys, Binance is quick, it's fast, it's easy, it's cheap, it's a great protocol. We love it, man. It's nice, it's slick. The look, the feel of it is fun, is dynamic. As much as it's a meme coin and fun with Dogecoin, guys that are with Dogecoin, I'm going to tell you, if you like something slick and smooth. And you like Twitter? I'll say this: you like Twitter? Harmony One is almost like the advanced Twitter of coins. And I'm not going to shill anything else, but look into it. Start looking at the tech, and maybe look at it. Just look at a homepage. You'll be like, wow, this is pretty smooth. That's kind of how it hit me. So I think you'll like that. It's that kind of a story. But yeah, as much as you are the meme coin and the most fun coin, it kind of seems like they're calling Harmony One Ethereum 2.0. It is kind of that next level kind of stuff that people look at and like, yeah, this stuff's really nice. When you start learning the story, look at their homepage, you're like, good gosh, huh? So they have that kind of incredible story, and as much love as there is in the community for Dogecoin, it's like, look at what's happened to Harmony One. All right, look at this. And I'll remove these intervals, these timing intervals. Those are just times at which we had a pricing target. So we gave you a pricing target, people made money. We gave you pricing targets 2 here, people made money. But look at what's happened. All right, this thing could be at 40 cents, 50 cents, $1 right now. Dogecoin could have been at $1 months ago. So I guess we have to figure that into our trading strategy. And part of this is interesting because we spend more time developing potentially our trading skills as we look at something that's retracing, it's got some frustration, etc. But I know Dogecoin was down in, I won't say down, but it was in kind of a trough. It was in a very, very, I'd say overly stable kind of condition where it was just like horizontal for a long time. I don't say, poorly anything bad at all about that. That's when Elon was, going through a lot of tweets and trying to inspire the community, but it didn't have to be like that. So I don't know what the answer is, and I guess I'm thinking out loud because it's possible that we could get into some different coins. It's possible that we could start looking at some different avenues to keep ourselves busier. I'd like to know if we're with people that are diehard listeners to the station and are trading, etc. Okay, are you or were you kind of too busy today? Because I found I was able to work out, and I always say, eat well, sleep well, take care of your relationships and yourself. Right, you need to do that in your other job, whatever else you do, unless you do this full time. But did you find that today, because you had 3 trades that we went through, if you guys were following, we went through 3 different trades, total of 45%. Registered, clocked, that's it. Signed, sealed, delivered, 45%. 1 with Harmony One and 2 with Dogecoin. Dogecoin was moving quickly and kind of made it easy. But did you guys have a good day? I could say that just I hope you guys had a good day. But is that too heavy? I don't know, because you could look at the fact, well, we might be able to pick up some more action. We might be able to get into another kind of coin or another something else and kind of enjoy trading that as well. It's just we run the risk of, we really run the risk of, and I'm going to say that because it's not at, Dogecoin was not allowed to go up to $1, and Harmony One wasn't allowed to go to $1 either. So for some reason, we've just been, limited like this, and I just feel bad for the holders who are just waiting patiently like this. It's just, they deserve better than that, and you guys know they do. They're just nice people, It's like, we love to trade, but come on, man. This is just, it's one of those things. Here we got in the house again. We have Charlie in the house again. One of the best guys here in the community. It's awesome to have you, Charlie. You are a stud. You are a total stud. It says, with Elon, Snoop, and Gene invested in Doge, any thoughts about the mass market acceptance, making it pass up ADA and others? Elon equals genius. Absolutely, Elon equals genius. Absolutely. He is an extraordinary man. He knows what he's doing, and he's one of those guys. He's just willing to work hard enough to get anything done, literally on the planet, and there's no one else like that. I had a discussion This was around the time, guys, it was 0.007, and someone told me, my friends were getting into Dogecoin, and I was there. I started talking about Elon, and I was talking about the fact that you really have to understand what he's capable of. And I was starting to talk. They were saying, Dogecoin eventually maybe to $1, and I was like, yeah. And if Elon wants it to be, probably $2, $2.25, $2.50. And I was just looking at him and saying that. I've got a business background. He knows that, and he was just looking at me like, like $2. And it was a lot because he was doing the math on getting in at 7 cents. So when he's doing the math on getting in at 0.007, 2 zeros, 007. I know, I'll never forget it, 007, right? It's the beginning of my driver's license. So I remembered it. I was like, 007, that's easy. We can deal with that. He put in, maybe $1,000, right? So if he's looking at going from 007 to, maybe he put in 10 grand. I'm not going to discuss his finances, but he's a decently well-off guy. So when he looks at that, he's looking at 7 cents. He's gone 10x, right, times 10. At 70 cents, it will be 100x, right? Yeah. So at that level, let's say for an example, he put in $1,000. That would turn into $100,000 at 70 cents, right? So he was looking at the math and computing up, and he was kind of prepared for that. And then I said kind of double on top of that, this and that. But we were discussing the parameters and the dynamics of Elon being in charge of something like this. And people don't understand the real tokenomics of Dogecoin and the extent to which it could change. I'll qualify greatly. But in spite of that qualification, I will discuss the fact that no one is discussing, while everyone's hating up on Dogecoin, no one's discussing the fact that literally the whole hyperinflation element, or if they want to call it, even as couch it and say, well, it's a standardized kind of inflation. It's 5 billion coins a year. That's healthy for the supply. Listen, none of that is evidence in the price. None of it's evidence in the price whatsoever. You do not go through periods of time where it's literally just going down. We don't see that. So in terms of the pressure, I just don't, there's enough, guys, there's enough positive price action here to where it's not, the demand for the product is not in question. And as we look at something that's going to be brought to a value, it's supply and it's demand, period. Now, I don't know how much of it will continue past the stimulus, and that's the one thing I would say if you're looking at getting it past like ADA or something like that. I'll tell you the truth, guys, with ADA, you are not going to find a huge fan with me. The reason why, and one thing that they don't talk about with ADA, no one brings this up to you, Cardano has, if you guys hold it, I love you. I love the fact that you hold it. That's brilliant. Okay, I love the technology. I love what it's doing. It's phenomenal. But what's the deal? Well, if you look back on the chart with Cardano, it's already been up to $1, right? 2017, 18, it already peaked out at $1 and went crashing back down. What I like about Dogecoin is it doesn't have that pricing history. This is all new territory. This is like the brand new kid on the block that can do whatever he wants to. He's just kind of bulletproof. Everything is new ground that he's kind of swinging into. So, and just the level of popularity. I'll see people that are actually involved in Cardano, with Cardano, etc., and nominated by Cardano and everything. They've got like 4,000 people following them. Like the mass element of Dogecoin to literally, we don't get this mass effect on very many things, and when we do, it's extraordinarily powerful. You saw with GameStop, etc., with the Reddit guys and Wall Street Bets, guys, that literally almost took down severely took down several major brokerage houses and hedge funds. That whole deal with the GameStop, that could have crippled a percentage of Wall Street. What they do, they locked it up, right? So that's what's been going on here. And so as you ask, can it pass ADA? And you're talking about Snoop Dogg and Gene Simmons and the rest of the guy, Elon, etc. Can it pass Cardano? Sure, absolutely. Without a doubt, it could pass Cardano. And people say, well, I don't really see that. I see more technological use advantage. Man, it's all about supply and demand. All right, that's just it. It's like it is the it's the pistol, and it just needs it's built for to shoot a gun, to shoot a bullet out. It's just literally all you need to do is pull the trigger with this thing. It has so much popularity. That's kind of the analogy I come up with. It's a preloaded pistol. All you need to do is just squeeze the trigger on this thing. That's it. Now what they'll do is they'll shut it down. Same thing they did with, and it's just it's a different component. It's a different dynamic to me as we look at the fact that, and when I say a different component than GameStop, a different component than, and I'll just say this because guys, there's a use case to this. And the use case is the people who have it, they want to use it, they want to buy Tesla trucks with it. You're not going to meet you're not going to meet a bigger group of people that want to use their Dogecoin or use their token. It's just that is a phenomenal aspect of the use of it. And I'm not seeing, like never have I seen, and I've been frustrated with it, guys, along the way, different parts of, just this sideways, action here for months that you were thrown into. That's just beyond unfair. Got a little impatient at some point with Elon. I'm kind of like, Elon, can you do something? Your crowd is just sitting here waiting for you. It's just kind of like, come on, And I guess he wanted you guys to wait. I don't know if I really don't know. If we have the Binance guy at the very top saying that, he doesn't know why his is locked down and going up 40%, but at the same time, Dogecoin's losing 30%. Those are some big issues. Maybe you can't step around in spite of Snoop Dogg kind of being at the forefront with Elon Musk. Unfortunately, even with Elon Musk and let's say Gene Simmons, whoever else wants to get there, the richest guy in the world, even he has to have his coins thrown around by some guy in shorts and a blazer. Trying to couch up his own coin because I don't even want to show the BNB chart right now. It's up 40%. You could split the hairs on this, and it's literally BNB literally decides to go up through the roof. That's the coin that belongs to Binance. So it's literally going up through the roof. We're having this discussion yesterday, literally last night, in terms of, well, let me give you some pricing targets up here. And I just firmly believe this, okay? It's uncanny, okay? That there's all this demand for Dogecoin, everything else going well. We're prepared to go to the upside. We're talking about targets on the upside, in spite of an upward channel, in spite of the chart dynamics. But you get an intuitive sense when you deal with fundamentals and technicals that sometimes you should not. You get like a sentiment that sometimes you shouldn't trust the technicals, okay? That's where we were at last night. And I still, in terms of exposure here, I was just like, very, very lightly. And I was literally like, extremely light position just to kind of carry along, just to kind of sit at the table and enjoy the action, if you would. I want to sit around the folks and enjoy the action when everybody's kind of throwing their dice on the table. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, and we don't take that approach, just so you know. We are very calculated at lower levels. We always have reserve cash, heavy reserve cash. We're never overexposed. I do not want to hear from anybody just because it hurts me, because I don't want to hear anybody who's involved in the community that got involved at a higher level. So if you're new to the community, you found the right place. We are going to try and teach you how to determine your own pricing target, your price targets. Okay, that means where you're going to enter and at kind of give you somewhat of an equivalent scale in terms of the amount of money, not specifically, but that you should have more money at the lower levels. Okay, at the cheaper levels. That's just in line with the demand curve. You guys have heard that now, but it's just the truth. If something's really, really expensive, you have no demand for it. As it gets more reasonable, it gets in here and it starts to drop a little bit. Yeah, we'll start to have some demand for it. So that's the way we try and allocate our thought towards market theory and market principles. And I think as I told my friend, long story short, but I told my friend, we were talking about Doge. It was 0.007, and most of my friends that are in at 0.007 still holding. And they like to trade as well. They're doing well. If you're listening, shout out, how you guys doing? And I guess the point is, my discussion with him originally was, if Elon wants to do this, he's a great manager, everything else, and looking at, probably $2, $2.20, $2.25, $2.50. I don't see a limitation the way that most people will see a limitation, and I don't see that for a few different items. I'll say I just don't see the limitation. I see the ability of someone like Elon to just push it up if he wants to. I don't think people really understand or can imagine when he actually does this thing with the moon, when he actually does a coin on the moon. I think it's going to be something that's so ridiculous and absurd that anyone who is a holder in this is going to be phenomenally rewarded. I mean, in a way that you may look back on and just be like, oh, that's when that happened. I mean, it could literally be a situation like that. You have no idea what the mass effect and the kind of the massive energy that could be collected around the world could be thrown into this investment instrument. Okay, I don't know. It just makes sense to me. It's supply and demand. The demand for the coin is going to go through the roof. It's for sale. Everyone's going to want one. You're going to get, you're going to get to the point. Everyone's going to want one. Well, I want one. It's on the moon. Every family is going to be saying, well, we want one. It's on the moon. Everybody, guys. Whether or not they like crypto or not, everyone's going to be saying they want some Dogecoin because it's literally on the moon right now. Well, that's really cool. We can get that. Let's go ahead and get some. I just think it's going to be phenomenal for everybody. So that's my story on the pricing. And shout out to Abbott. Appreciate that. Yeah, just validation of what we're doing here at the channel and ability to talk with you guys. It means a lot. Thank you guys. I appreciate that very much. So, and all you celebs out there and all you guys, we have 3,000 to 5,000 people, sometimes more, listen to our scrolls here and kind of what we go through. And we just support all you guys. We don't judge you. We've got our own opinions or beliefs or whatever they are, and they stop at the door, and we just kind of pick up kindness if we can in terms of you guys and what all everybody's been through. And we know it's been a great couple of years because we've all gotten a little bit closer together and understood a lot of the challenges that we have. So it's kind of a special day in that regard, and we want to just say shout out to everybody. Just in general, and we appreciate being able to kind of lead you in the Harmony One and the Dogecoin and just generalized thought, kind of just generalized intelligence or intelligent thought and technicals and these pricing targets. It's very key to us to be able to bring those to you. I'll say this. In terms of the Twitter, we'll go and we'll do some shout outs right now. I want to get some shout outs and we'll see who's new to the Twitter. Go into the search box, type in The Kingdom, TheKingdom. This is London. I'm with Crypto Kingdom. That's crypto with a K, all right? Crypto Kingdom with a K. And you'll type that in the search box. It won't be any of these names. You'll have to scroll all the way down in the search box and push Go to the Kingdom. That'll be at the very bottom. So Go to the Kingdom, all right? Here, guys, all day long on this and our Discord. The Discord server's right here, okay? The Discord servers right here. You'll see here, former U.S. presidential advisor. That would be me, okay? Former professional financial analyst, prior hedge fund expertise. That's me. Discord link. That's all true. Discord link right here. You'll be able to go to the Discord. I'm sharing the moves all day long so that you guys understand these pricing targets are real. All right. While you're going through this, I know a lot of you guys like to trade. Some of you don't know how to trade. We're building kind of a community where you can learn about that. Okay, where you can start to experience what technical analysis is. I'm a very technical guy, and I just enjoy it. We have a lot of technical guys, and a lot of them enjoy it. So that is the Twitter. Let's do some shout outs, but you guys go ahead and follow those of you who aren't following already. And we give this shout out because literally. Everyone that listens to this here and after, they may go ahead and sign up, and when they sign up to follow, we're able to bring them into the community, and that's really positive. So let's see what we have. You sound just like Tommy Lee Jones. Did you ever hear that? Men in Black. Well, that's funny. If I put his accent on, someone's saying, yeah, "Hey, you sound just like Tommy Lee Jones." That's funny. I probably could if I got into his accent a little bit. I will not do that. It's funny though. I'll try and not practice on that on my time away from the screen here. We got Alpha Yuo. Hey Alpha Yuo, what's going on? Shout out to you. Shout out to MKC and shout out to. Let's get to some other. Looks like some follows. Here you go. Dan, Jordan, Andrew. Shout out to all you guys. I think we had about. 16 to 20 yesterday and about 50 the day before. So we got Jesse Larson. We got various ones kind of sprinkled in through here. What do we got? Jan, Louis Marquez, Jay Sushi. We got Andrew Ludlow and Ryder Moore. Congratulations, guys. Well, welcome to the Crypto Kingdom. And I like that diehard Angels fan. Guys, if you put a description in here, it'll help us get to know who you are. And if you put a picture in here, it'll definitely help us get to know a little bit of your style and everything else that's going on. From like baseball or you like comics or whatever you're into, let us know. If you're into the market, let us know. That's what we're into. We deliver pricing targets. And not just on the downside, guys. I want you to know that in terms of where you're headed and kind of what timing. We're very good on timing here. Extraordinarily good on timing. I mean, we brought up the timing interval here yesterday beforehand. So it's not just the pricing targets. And I mean, exactly pricing targets beforehand. Entry, profit, okay? We're also on the upside. So we're also, giving this exact pricing target up here in terms of the trajectory of this. So it's all very predictable. You have to understand the predictive elements of kind of what compromises market intelligence, okay? The fundamentals of kind of technical analysis as applied to the components or variables of market intelligence. That's what I specialize in, okay? That's what I'm very good at. I've literally done the numbers for like $1 billion equity fund and sat across the table from Harvard Foundation, okay? That doesn't make me a stiff suit at all. To the contrary, I didn't stay at that job. Okay, and after that, I got bored afterwards. I was like, I did that deal, and I was like, yeah, the rest is kind of boring. I was like, I'm just bored, so I went and did something else. I get bored easily, so the market keeps me entertained, and you guys keep me entertained. You guys are not boring at all. I haven't felt bored at one period in time through the Discord or Twitter or anything else. So the price action here did fall down. We're in kind of still a consolidation pattern. It looks like we're trying to squeeze on out to the upside as we look at this. It looks like we're trying to create a little bit of positive action here. And I had brought up this number 2, this gold arrow here, that I would like to see it kind of in line with this gold arrow, the B right here. I'd like to see it in line with this number 2. We brought up this kind of intermittent low around here on the A, and we had kind of an intermittent low here around this number 1. We have the number 1, 2. We have the A and the B, a green and a gold. We have a green and a gold. We have a high action, high price action, a slight fall off, followed by a deeper fall off on a low. We have a high price action followed by kind of a slight fall off with an intermittent low and a deeper low. So literally we're seeing kind of a congruence here amidst the pricing action. We need to see this higher low right here. We need to see this stick to stay in a bullish dynamic, okay? That's just what we need to stick in. And that's some technicals just so you understand what's going on. Those are the technicals in terms of getting this information into some sort of a reasonable framework. And that's a lot of what we do on the technical analysis is we put it into a descriptive pattern. We have the technology in terms of the program. This is a pro edition of Trader View. Okay, so we have the technological, the framework to be able to put this together, and we also have kind of the vocabulary, and we share that vocabulary with a lot of the other professionals. And for those of you who are listening, who are professionals, hello to you. I hope you're doing very well, and we just appreciate you. So we share that vocabulary and this technical expertise. We're able to kind of distribute the ideas and thoughts in a way that makes sense, that's patterned and logical. And that makes it a little easier for you to make a decision based upon your own research as well, and what you decide to incorporate into this technology that we're presenting to you, and the ideas and kind of this constructed verbal framework that we're able to give to you, and not really to suggest to you, but the concrete elements that we're able to define that kind of explains technical analysis. What I've just described to you, we kind of want to know, what is it? It's that framework which is developed within technology, and kind of a different layer or a different level of vocabulary and kind of descriptions that you can kind of understand and look at and be able to understand the story of what's really gone on, and potentially what's most likely to go on. So, like for instance, this pricing event described by this interval between these blue lines. These are Fibonacci's, guys. They're drawn out like this, and I don't know if you've ever seen them drawn out, but just check this out. This is how we have these drawn. Now at the expiration of this time interval, look, wham, to the downside, right? You guys will like this. Look at this. Now I drew this out specifically like this, but watch what happens when we shorten this. Watch how you see how the lines start to converge. You see that? Here we go. So when I do this and I bring this up for you guys to look at, the fact that this fits so well, okay, and that's been predefined by these intervals, by this interval application, and I mean the duration, the period of time within which this gets applied, guys, it's phenomenal. And I just went from the low to the low, the beginning of the trend to the first low, and then we're from the low to the high. So there's kind of an odd parity there. There's an unequal parity there. Then I go from the high, and then we go to a low. So we're from a low to a low to a high, and we're a high to a low, and then we're a low to a high. Now we're a high, now we're a high to a. Now I don't know what that sounds like to you guys, but you're following enough, huh? We have a low to essentially a low to a low. Okay, a low to a low to a high. We have a high kind of to a low. We have a low to a high. We have a high to a. It's off in terms of its kind of its cadence. But that's yeah, maybe a non-repeatable element of it, but it gives it some form of it gives it an indication. It gives it a value, which even if it may be a randomized element, but you're dealing with highs and lows. That's the characteristic of it. It's a high and a low. Okay, it's another high. Is it going to be some sort of another low? Okay, we haven't gone from a high to a high. We've gone from a low to another low, a low to a high to a low to a high. We haven't gone from a high to a high. I don't know why. That's the way it is. But those things become descriptive somehow if this repeats out. And I do bring up these timing intervals because right when it hit, and I was live with you guys last night, and I said something needs to happen in and around this time. It's due. It's supposed to happen right now. And sure enough, I said, I can't believe this hasn't happened. We're still in the channel. I'm not going to say anything about that, but it was literally in the process of just going, down this direction. Now, the servers were being compromised during that time period. We know that. They were being blocked, or BNB was being blocked or not. Some things were going on with Binance. I don't know the story. I don't want to, at this point, I don't want to know the whole story because it's just probably going to upset me. It does look like, though, that you're trying to pick up here. So I said that it does need to kind of try and look like this gold right in here. All right. So this needs to apply to this. These are both. This would be a higher low, okay, than this previous low. This is kind of intermittent low right in here, intermittent low. So these green arrows kind of match up. We could put some more arrows up on top of here, but that's just a descriptive. It's a pattern behavior of the price action that we would like to carry forward, and it seems predictable and bullish. So just as this picked up in this area with some green and around this area after the gold arrow here, we would expect that would be nice if we get a pickup in the green here to the upside. Now we can't predict that. We're on a different kind of timing interval here. So we can't necessarily say what's going to happen. What we can say is that it appears to be as if there's going to be an incredible amount of volatility. There is not one of these frequencies wherein there's not an incredible amount of volatility. Now that should present an opportunity for us to trade, okay, to enter into some pricing targets. People want to know, well, what's the pricing target right now? Well, on the upside, if you want to look at a projection, we can start to do that because I know some people who are still in after this entry. This was our entry price. I know some people who cashed out. I wrote something in and said, okay, it's 10%. I'm out. I had a meeting to go to, and I'm like, I'm out. I had 2 other trades for 15%, 50%. That was 10%, 45% on the day. I'm like, that's it. That's a good day for me. I'm like 45%. I'm fine. Just rest a minute, get in with the phone calls I need to make, and good people in this community. So it does look like we are headed up. All right, it looks like we're achieving some positive price action here. And I'm just going to say in the context of the gold to the gold, now this could change in 2 seconds. We're at a different timing interval, and we have not gone from a high to a high yet. So in the interim of that, knowing that within this time period, it's a big time period, guys, it may reset. It may reset because as you get into these extended time periods, it becomes more likely that potentially you could reset. I'd like to think maybe we could reset. But this is why price action gets slowed down. Okay, the fact that we were able to maintain this channel during the entirety of this channel, as we're looking at this channel here, guys, that's phenomenal. That is a phenomenal event to have occurred. That's very nice, consistent. I hope that it's not followed by something that's a little bit worse than this. I wouldn't expect, as we look in this, if we really want to look at the overall retracement, we're looking at the 50% retracement. That's pretty good. I mean, if we wanted to get it down into like a 61.8, that's like a golden pocket. That's kind of the prime golden ratio. That's highly technical stuff. You don't need to know that. It's a fun meme coin, right? We're not ruining that at all. It's also fun to trade because of the volatility. So enjoy that with us. That's part of the dynamic. You guys have a very well performing coin. So enjoy that. Just embrace that. That's part of the price action that we are all surrounded around, and we've been it's hard to enjoy it. I'll say it's really hard to enjoy price action when it just looks like this. Every now and then you get a little, a little something in the past, but now it's at this point. It's not like, oh well, now of course you like Dogecoin. No, you guys, my friends, etc. I'm talking about my friends are all in it like 0.007. 007. So no, it's not. It's not that we're just interested in it now. It's just what are we going to spend our time in while it's been while it's just been flattened out. And I don't think that's fair at all that it was like this. This should have occurred a long time ago. And you're talking with someone who knows personally that it should have happened a long time ago. So I'm not going to get into my own holdings, etc. But should know that should have occurred a long time ago. So we are achieving some positive price action. I think that's great. I'd like to see something. If it could in this time interval, and I will qualify that very heavily. I did say last night, and it did come out of my mouth because it was the truth, okay, based upon after I did provide some upside price targets in around 54 cents and around 73 cents, etc. I can go over those again. But what we're looking at now, we're trying to get into, I would really like to see a pricing event, okay, and a pricing event meaning some upward trajectory in line with some of these other really nice kind of rocket rides that we saw, some really, really high velocity events. When you say, we're going to the moon, all right, great. What does that mean? Well, it means that we've got some positively, positive price action with high velocity. Now, these are high velocity events. Why? Because they travel, okay, to a new vertical distance in a short period of time, to a high vertical distance in a short period of time. That defines the velocity of the price. Okay, so we get a lot of velocity in the price, we make a lot of headway. Okay, so I'd like to see, it'd be great to see us make some velocity in and above this 54 that I drew out. That would be beautiful. Okay, that'd be something I could look at and say, now that is exactly kind of what we need to put together is an idea of some sort of a breakout in a long, let's see, in a long two. That's only a 57% run from where it's at right now. That could be done, definitely. Huh? In fact, that with the 20 that you're at, that'd put the move right in line with everything. What is that? From the price entry up into that area, yeah, that'd be real reasonable. About 70, 80%. That wouldn't be bad at all. So I'd like to see something like that. That'd be a lot of fun. I think everyone would like to see something like that. Just be prepared, guys. You have this habit now of retracing like 50%, retracing like 30 to 40%. So when you look at that, all right, you have a habit of retracing. When you guys hit that, and I just want to know with the crowd in here, ask yourself the question: are you going to, Are you going to pull the trigger when you get on top? You just okay, great, I'm out. Why? I don't know. You want to reaccumulate almost twice the amount of coins that you have. Is that of interest to you? Do you play the game like that? Maybe you don't. Maybe you're just maybe you're relaxing. Maybe you're enjoying the show instead of wanting to be a part of it because you don't want to end up with half the amount of coins that you have. That's understandable as well. And this is a highly calculated game in terms of the rules of it, etc. It can wipe you out real quickly. So that's kind of where we're at. Let's take a real quick look at the long lost brother of Dogecoin, both hated upon by the institutions. It looks like we're trying to find momentum in Harmony One. We're trying to find that institutional framework. Again, it just chopped off the chalk block. I'll say the chalk block by Binance. Unfair. Same thing just happened here to Dogecoin. So at some point, we're just at the whim and fancy of CZ and company. So where is our Elon? We have to say, where is Elon? I think we're waiting for Elon. There's something else that we're not getting. It's that participation from Elon. You guys want to look up and see if there's any kind of tweets that maybe Elon has released or something else. We'll see what his most recent thing is. Look at Kenny Cakes has put up the Iron Man. He's like, I don't think so, huh? Look at him. He's talking to CZ. Stop. Give us our money back at the kingdom. He says, Elon, help Doge. The people need you. Look at him. Now that's Kenny. That's Kenny right there. Kenny Cakes is always in the house. Great stuff. We love that. When is that not true? You have to ask, when is that not true? We're just giving money over to CZ? Guys, you realize that? CZ's literally plugging down the servers and everything else. The value of his coin is going through the roof. When he locks his down, prevents the withdrawals, it goes up 40%. While what? While he interferes with Dogecoin and around here, server problems, everything else, and then we go down 37%. We can still trade it, but good gosh, guys, that's some severe stuff. Yeah, that's severe stuff. So yeah, I don't blame Kenny Cakes for saying that. Kenny's a great guy. He's at Kenny Crypto on our Discord. You guys follow that Discord. I think you have the details about how to get into this. It's just type in the kingdom, real easy, the kingdom, and go down, scroll down, the kingdom, go to the kingdom. Follow us there. The Discord link's in the top of the profile. So as we look at this, yeah, this guy's causing some problems. A little bit much of a frustration, don't you think? So, yeah, a little bit much of a frustration. Let's see if we can find something good with Elon. You guys want to see if there's any Elon Musk tweets or anything else that's going on good. He's got the nice space rocket there, 51.7 million followers. Let's see what we have. Space suits, very cool stuff. Let's see, he talks about the wrecks with the lack of accidents, essentially. A lot of space stuff going on. It seems like he's very focused on the moon. Yeah, and he was, oh yeah. He was selected by NASA. Elon Musk was selected by NASA, right? To be the person who's going, he's going to do this, guys, with Dogecoin. You guys know that. I guess we might as well get excited about it. He's going to, he has been selected by NASA to be the company and the person who's going to deliver men to the moon again. All right, so that's just going to happen. NASA has selected Starship to land the first astronauts on the lunar surface since the Apollo program. We are humbled to help NASA usher in the new era of human space exploration. So they are going to be the ones that are literally flying to the moon. So that should be positive, I'd say, for the price action if and around the time that happens. Now, I don't know. As you guys look at the longevity of this, this is worth asking, okay? And people want to know, how long is this going to last, right? How long is this event, this bull run going to last? How much more time is there? People get anxious, you know, we have to get to $1, we have to do whatever holdings you have. As you look at that, why don't we ask the question in terms of, well, what's going to happen with something like Dogecoin if and when it does go to the moon, or whatever they do, literally, physically, or tangibly in the real world, not just metaphorically. When they do that, I mean, I would kind of expect that it's still going to have a drastic effect on the price, right? So yeah, I would expect it still is going to have a drastic effect on the price. So I would foresee us trading this thing for a long time, you know, in terms of holding, sure. But in terms of trading, I think it provides a longevity to the market if you're involved in Dogecoin, more so than just maybe any other coin. And that may be kind of a benefit of that. There's Elon, huh? He's dancing, he's boogieing. That's real cool. I like that, huh? Just having some fun. So we're going to highlight him for a minute because he hasn't done much in terms of, he has, I guess. He's done this tweet on, recently he's been very positive with with not only the space rockets extraordinaire, etc., but he's got the Dogecoin standard against the global financial system. So that's exciting. You know, that's him saying it's inevitable. Okay, that was back in July 17th of 2020. So he was already on this standard. I mean, what are we doing not to pick up on what the biggest business guy on the planet, what he's telling us? He's been telling us since this period in time. It's gone up, 10,000%. Was it 14,000%? Since June, I don't know exactly the figures, July 2020, we'll have to look at the exact figures. But yeah, that's what he's telling us in the summer of last year. Like, who wasn't paying attention? That's last summer. Who of us was not paying attention? Not enough of us was paying attention. So I hope we're paying attention. He just said on April 16th, he put his eyes up there. And I do hope that we're paying enough attention on these other issues that include Dogecoin getting swatted down again by because you have to look at this. Look at this, guys. Elon puts this tweet out April 16th, right? Bringing back up the fact. Look at what happens, guys. Bringing up the fact. This is April 16th, okay? He brings back up and he says little eyes looking at Dogecoin standard in the global financial system, right? Yeah, on April 16th, he puts those little eyes on there. And then what happens? On April 16th, okay, on April 16th, this is just absurd, guys. April 16th, there's a huge spike in the price of Dogecoin. This is when it literally went, it was going up to exactly where it needed to go. What happened? CZ, all right, started to have an overload, quote unquote, on his servers, and it put the price down into here. So literally, he put CZ, the CEO, the founder of Binance, right, literally just put the brakes on the whole thing. Okay? I mean, right when Elon comes out and does that, then CZ just steps in and goes wham, puts the brakes on. I mean, was it a competition between them? What the heck's going on? It's not. That's not even good business, right? To all of the people involved in it, that's not good business. And what happens to his coin? He does the same thing. He puts the brakes on, or he limits the withdrawals on his coin. Okay, and what happens? Well, it goes up when he does that. It goes up. I don't know what 40%, almost to a new all-time high. Really, is that how it works? So Dogecoin, when Elon puts out eyes and this and everything else, he puts out a kind of a reference to this Dogecoin standard in the global financial system. And on the same day, CZ and Binance step in and squash the price of it. So, and while CZ locks up his own BNB coins, which typically take something down, conveniently, his goes up. His BNB goes up, right? So, and while what? While Dogecoin gets hammered again and goes down. So I think we're very much at the whim of this entire situation, and understanding the kind of the nuances of that. It's relatively clear. We don't have to get in too much into the nuance, huh? You know, maybe there's some different layers to peel back in terms of if there's some regulations they're into, but I don't even think they're heavily regulated. So, you know, I don't know what to say about any kind of the other details other than what's, you know, patently obvious to us is, you know, he puts this on April 16th, these eyes looking at what he had written back in 2020. We weren't paying attention back then. We're paying attention now in the way that we should have been back then about the elements of, yeah, okay, when he released this, when Elon said this on the 16th, on that 16th, that's when the price decided to go up through the roof, right? Just up to 45. And what happened? And CZ, during that time period, said, oh, we have problems with the servers. Okay, so he put the brakes on. The CZ guy put the brakes on. Then he went back over, in light of that after the 16th, and that tweet, then he went over and somehow he locked the keys here as of the last few hours. That's what that tweet says, okay? That's what the tweet says in terms of BNB withdrawals are temporarily suspended due to a large volume increase causing a withdrawal backlog. Okay, so he suspended his own coins, which what? Normally, it pushes the price down. It pushed it up 40%. And this goes up 40% while what? It goes up 40% exactly during the time frame when we just get kicked off the cliff here, particularly in Dogecoin. So there's a lot of problems here. There's a lot of resistance that I see occurring between the Elon push and the positivity and what's really occurring in the marketplace. So that's one factor that kind of needs to be considered. And I don't know if they're balancing it with volatility and the opportunity to trade the coin, because there's a phenomenal opportunity to trade it. But a lot of people don't appreciate the ability to trade it. And I'm just going to say, not that they don't appreciate it, like, oh, you don't have any respect for it, or you should love it so much more. No, they're never going to appreciate it. It's not something that they need to appreciate. They don't need to trade it. They don't want to trade it. They don't want to engage in day trading or price targeting or anything like that. So no, they're not going to ever appreciate it, and that's fine. So to do that, I think, you know, the volatility is one aspect we get excited about, but I'll just say that that's not that helps the people who want to trade it, but that still doesn't justify CZ jumping in, this guy jumping in, the founder of Binance, to jump in and say, what is this? We're experiencing a 10-time increase in BNB withdrawals, so no one wants it anymore. They want to withdraw it, whatever they're trying to do with it. I mean, it seems like every other time that you can't withdraw something, I'm going to go back to the Harmony One. Every time when we couldn't withdraw something on Harmony One, we went through that. That was a tough time, right? Wham! Threw us down into a 50% retracement. All right? Same thing with Dogecoin here recently. Wham! Threw us into literally another 50% retracement. His BNB gets to the situation where, well, that was just right in here, and they've gone up back 40%, and they're about to set a new all-time high. Now, I've looked at the technicals on this. This sucker could go to $757 very quickly. It's about almost $600. It could go to $757 very quickly. It could make some massive amounts of cash. I'll just tell you that based on the technicals, the retracement patterns. And I have to adjust those actually for when it's gone down. I've recently done those. BNB is a phenomenally It's a phenomenally performing instrument, guys. It's a heavily geared pricing little monster there. But as Dogecoin's looking at taking over BNB, that's just, guys. We write a soap opera about this stuff. Honestly, you could, and it wouldn't be that much fun to watch. But we could literally write a soap opera about this. CZ up against Elon Musk, right? This guy, right when Elon Musk says, right here when he references back on the 16th, he says, "Hey, take a look at Dogecoin going to take over the global financial system." All right, that's exactly when huge escalation in price. Right, what happens? Then CZ goes to the Dogecoin chart, steps all over the top of it, so it doesn't appreciate to the natural value it should appreciate to. Right? I mean, it's just like it's this guy wanting to fight this guy. Elon is CZ wanting to fight Elon. And at the end of the day, it's like you understand. There's millions of people that are being affected by all this stuff. There's tens of thousands of holders that hold Dogecoin that literally deserve the right to participate in the appreciation of the price. So it's a bad little competitive story that they have going on between Elon and whatever. And I think this guy CZ, he probably has it. He's in charge of the largest crypto exchange on the planet. So I guess to some extent, Elon is, I'll say this, he's starting to build up, this is a nice comment, huh? Elon's starting to build up the rationale that he's going to be storing his own Bitcoin for the Tesla purchases. Maybe he'll do the same thing for Dogecoin. Maybe Elon will build his own crypto exchange. That would be a solution to it. That'd be nice. See him build his own crypto exchange because we don't deserve to be stepped on. I'll play the volatility. I'll work with it. I'll get pricing targets on the other side of whatever happens in terms of a new high, etc. But at the end of the day, there's just squabbling going on. I just call it a squabble here. So, we're not kids in third or fourth grade, and it seems like some people are trying to treat this whole dynamic like that, and that's the new CEO. So that's kind of where we're at. I appreciate you guys being here to kind of update you. You guys are aware of the Twitter. Just go to the Kingdom, search down, and click us there. Follow us up there. Also, our Discord. It's where we hang out. It's where we're all able to talk about, essentially our trades, what's going on. And we also do price projections there. We have a Doge holders section. And I did receive something asking for a little bit of Harmony One, little bit 10x. Can you talk about one little bit, 10x, 10 times? Yeah, Harmony 1 did receive, it was a 10 times Harmony 1. A 20x, actually it was a 20x. So those of you who don't know, who have been waiting around in Dogecoin, yeah, Harmony 1 received it was a 20x in 20 times your money in a short period of time. So you guys who don't know about Harmony 1, it's got a phenomenal story. I mean, a phenomenal price action in the story. Hammered on by Binance. Same guys, same crew that's fighting around with Elon Musk, guys. Same crew that right when Elon pulls up a reference back to Dogecoin standard, what happens? Well, CZ comes in and says, "Oh well, we're sorry, we accidentally stepped all over the price action of your Dogecoin, Elon. We're so sorry, we accidentally our servers couldn't handle it, so you went down." Meanwhile, when the servers kind of go down for Binance, which is that's CZ, that's the guy who founded it. When the servers go down for Binance, it happens to go up 40%. When it goes down, when it happens to everybody else, like for Harmony One, it goes down 40 or 50%. When it happens for Dogecoin, it goes down 40 or 50%. So they're not playing by the same rules at all, and that's not anything that we want to replicate or try and continue. Is just to let that continue to. I don't know, to kind of manifest in a negative way for us. But at the same time, we have to understand that, guys, that's happening in the investments that we're involved in. So I can pull back into a kind of a heavy, positive sides of volatility. Excuse me. We can get into the upsides of volatility. Well, sure, we can talk about that, the ability to trade, everything else. Where's it going to go next? The suspense factor. We could get into all that, okay? Or we could just talk about kind of what's right to do to people, because this stuff's not right to do, and we're involved in the community. And in no uncertain terms, we should be telling people if they're recruiting capital, they're selling this stuff every which way they can. They're selling Dogecoin, okay? They're selling it, and they have a duty to sell Harmony One and these other instruments that they've stepped all over. Okay, they have a duty to do that. Harmony One is the long lost brother of Dogecoin. It just is. It's got a great utility. You guys will love it. So that's just it. I love the community. It's a very nice community to me. So in the context of this, the price action getting squashed down, 50% loss in money. I mean, at some point, we shouldn't even really be responsible. I have to say this. We personally should not be responsible for ever getting any flack when people might say down the road, oh yeah, you were doing a show and I bought in at such and such on Dogecoin and it went to, I don't care about a pricing target, I got in and then it went to 2 cents or whatever it is, because what's the drastic level of the fallout here? I don't know. If they won't let it go, if CZ will not let it go to $1, it should have been there 4 months ago. Okay, this is Elon's little baby. If he won't let it go there, if Binance and Robinhood and these other guys don't want Elon to be on top with Bitcoin and Dogecoin, okay, it'd be a big deal, okay, for this to take off to that level, okay, or beyond that. I think there's the popular demand for it to occur. I think we all know that. That's why they're stepping on the servers. That's why they're causing all these problems and saying, well, there's a technological issue, we can't do that. Okay, so it pushes the price down 50%. But then when it happens to the exchange coin, well, then the price goes up 40%. So anyway, we've got some major issues on that, but I'm not going to be silent about it. I won't dwell on it the entire time. I mean, that's not the only thing we're going to talk about, but it's very pertinent to right now. It's like, what's the next high? Right here. Okay, the Binance exchange got involved here, right? What's the next one? Right here. What happened? Well, right here, there was another problem with their servers. And what happened? Well, we retraced 37%. Well, hot dog. Let's get up tomorrow and get excited about holding. Let's get up tomorrow and get excited about trading. We'll go ahead and we'll trade. We'll bring in the price targets. We'll continue to do that without question. That's just that's what we're going to do. We're going to support the community. But that sure brings up some big questions. If I were hearing all that stuff, I would be I don't know. I'd be a little interested in that. So. Yeah, thank you for your support. I have to say that. Thank you guys for your support. Isaac Tronics, I want to just shout out to you and say thank you very much. That means a lot that you would support the community. It's just a validation for us. Thank you for the super chat, small little super chat in line. Just a couple bucks, and it makes a big difference. It lets us know that you guys are doing well. I think some of you guys made money. I'd like to know, if any of you actually traded on the pricing targets and made some money. So. To the extent that that's recognizable, I'd like to know that, because we were all day long, literally, talking with you guys and releasing kind of trades all day long. So if no one made any money, I know that's not the case. And I spoke with someone earlier today who was in the community, but at some point, you guys are going to have to verify that we're going to have to verify you like Twitter verifies. We're going to have to put a check mark next to your name and say, yes, you listened to the stream, and you did enter the price at the right amount, and you did exit and you made money. So we're excited for that. What else do we have here? Guys, I don't know what more we have in terms of if you guys would like me to look at specific coins or something like that. I'm happy to do that. We don't have to kind of go on and on tonight. If there's any other major pressing concerns, we can get into it. Let me think if there's anything else that we could look at. We have XRP, VeChain, we have Theta, we have everything in the market, at our disposal here. BNB, we have, Doge. We just like Doge. Doge is the outlier right now, okay? XRP is gearing up with Doge. Okay, that's cool. And, it's just the one that has the ability to maybe jump in. Let's see. Let's see. We have the ability to really, to watch Doge just go up and really cause a big level of disturbance. It should have gained popularity previous here too. We probably should already be having the discussions about potential like coin burns or whatever discussions would be appropriate with the nature of I know Marcus or whoever the developer is, whatever would make sense. I'm sure there's some big high level plans there. Let's see, Andrew B with a chat. I made money around 47K and I'm only 19. I don't doubt it, Andrew. You probably are plugged in with the right chat rooms and everything else, and the rest of us need to be listening to, maybe the sub I don't know, chat group that you're in. But in the meantime, you guys can schedule up with the chat room in our. Let me see if we have any notifications or anything. It doesn't look like it. It looks like everything's stable. Just waiting for something for Elon. Doesn't seem like it's coming. So what I'll just say in kind of closing here, it just looks like we're in kind of an upward. Looks like we're achieving some degree potentially of an upward dynamic here. If you guys entered into the trade at this level, specific price target we gave you, right now you're at there you go. You're at 19%, 18 or 19%. So I know that makes you guys happy. The ones that I spoke with today, I think you're still holding on to that. I had some things to do, so I decided I'm just going to go ahead and close this out, close the day at 45%. You guys had all those details. That worked out very well. And yeah, so that was a good day for me, and I hope it's a great day for you guys. I hope you get above the level that I got to, and that's the challenge that I will kind of give you is I hope you guys get to and I'll point out the exact kind of the contest parameters here. The contest parameters are up to 41 cents. You have to break 41 cents on this current pricing trajectory to beat my returns from the day. All of this negative pricing action, guys. You're going to do it on the way up. I did it on the way down, so I want to know if you guys can do it essentially on an up ramp here. I believe that you can, believe it or not. Yeah, without a doubt, you guys definitely can. So it looks like everybody's doing well. I'm going to probably just sign off a little bit early and let you guys go and take care of business. It's about 1 in the morning here in Texas, Central Standard Time. So take care of yourselves, and we'll come back to you. If something live happens and something is going on, we may just pop back in and say hello. Other than that, I want you guys to take care of yourselves, eat well, sleep well, and continue to invest in those things that were important to you before you got involved in the market. Particularly the crypto market can be a little bit isolating, so make sure you invest in those relationships and yourself and kind of your personal life and your friends, your family. And take care of your portfolios. We look forward to bringing you more pricing targets. We'll do that very soon. Let's wait on this little puppy here and see if it wants to shoot up or if it hits some of our other targets, which are, and I'll just go through this real quickly. If it does buckle or boil down, it's going to hit in the 50% retracement, which is 28 and 3/10 cents. Okay, 28 and 3/10 cents. Your golden pocket is going to be 25 flat. 25.05 cents is going to be the golden pocket on down through to about the 23.7. You guys are going to want to calculate that, but it's just 5% more, essentially about 4% more. But it's a 65th retracement. So we can calculate that. I may shoot that out to the Discord after I compute that, so you have that figure. If we go to the 78.6, that's going to be the 20.3, okay, the 20.3. Guys, on the golden pocket, it doesn't always go down to the golden pocket. It's more likely to go down to that 65th, the bottom level, the first time that it hits. If it retouches it, it will probably go to the 61.8, okay? That's the way that'll typically work. It'll go a little bit deeper the first time if it's going to double up on it. The 78.6, and that's just technicals. That's the way that it works. 78.6 would be, if we were to go down to that level, would be 20 cents, 20 and 3/10 cents. So those are your official targets there, so that you can work with those targets. Again, we do have this correlative event where we're trying to see, based upon these 2 green arrows and the 2 golden arrows, we're trying to see some more positive action to the upside. So we believe we can make that occur. Guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications. We will come to you if and when things become a little bit urgent or essential. And I hope you guys enjoyed kind of playing along with the trades that we had today. It was a nice day, 45%, and those are verified literally in your hands throughout the day if you guys were plugged into the channel with the Discord and the Twitter. And yeah, we're excited about today. That was very peaceful, and we can rest well knowing that hopefully you guys who got in and maybe you didn't have the pressing schedule that I had, I just let you guys run with it for the rest of the time here. If you get a nice run, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I trust that all of you are practicing good kind of manners here in the market. None of you are overexposed at the higher levels. Always maintain your reserves to be able to double and triple down as you get into the lower levels. Accumulate more volume, right, at a lower price with a lower cost basis is what we would say. So that will allow you to recapture any of the potential risk or losses that you may have experienced at the higher levels. That's a kind of a heavyweight double or triple down approach that we like to use here in the at the Crypto Kingdom. So yeah, thank you, Andrew B. I really appreciate that. And yeah, it's just a pleasure to have you guys here. And Andrew, that means a lot. Thank you for that confirmation. I can see the super chat when it does pop up. So yeah, Andrew B says, "Have a great night, man. I really enjoy your charts." Thank you, Andrew. That means a lot. And I hope you're in in the Discord. That means a lot to us. And shout out to Red Raider. Shout out to Yoski, and to all of you who were a portion or a part of just letting us know that you appreciate the channel. That means a lot in terms of, it's not really about the money, but it's just about you guys telling us that you kind of understand, and you're validating kind of the work we're doing. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. With Isaac Tronic, shout out to you. Shout out to all the people who joined up in Twitter. Shout out to Red Raider. Hold on, Red Raider. How about USDC versus UDT chart? USDC versus USDT. Well, I missed Red Raider's comments. I got to get to Red Raider here. Hold on. Let's see what we have. USDC. USDT. The USDT. The USD coin. Okay. Now, this is what Red Raider wants us to bring up. Okay. Are you interested in, I think he's talking about something that I was complaining about. Okay, Red Raider, you're a very funny guy. I knew this was the chart, and I'm like, why would you want me to look at this? I'm going to look at it. Red Raider is making a joke. This is a good guy that is in our group, okay? He is in our group. He is he's a moderator here, and he's a great guy. We're talking about something that is absolutely unimpressively flat, okay? This is the price action of the USD coin, okay, which is tethered to the United States dollar, all right? It is literally, that's as flat as you get. So, when we look at today, and this is great. I appreciate this, Red Raider. You're right on it, brother. Because as we look at today, and as we really consider, well, do we really have a problem with Harmony One? Maybe not. Do we really have a problem with Dogecoin? It's like, well, maybe not. Maybe we're doing okay. Maybe we'll take a little volatility. Because we were in kind of a difficult time with Dogecoin. And I gotta say, it's pretty rough. You're funny. You're a funny guy, Red Raider. I appreciate that. You're a funny guy. But yeah, when we look at that tether, guys, maybe we're doing okay. Big shout out back to Charlie Abbott. I want to give you a big shout out because that means a lot for you to support things multiple times. You're killing it with the support, and that's just awesome. It really validates what we're doing. Desert stuff, we will keep it up. And just to kind of recap, you guys watch out for those people. They're validating and they're supporting the community, and that's really key. That's crucial as you guys look for leaders. Those are the leaders right now in terms of stepping up and really supporting the community, and they're making their names known. So go ahead and do that, along with Andrew B, who's also making his name known in this community. And guys, this is one of the most technical, kind of well founded, I'd say, principled trading communities that I have seen in and around. It's not a kind of flippant little Wall Street bet or Reddit with a kind of mass psychology that nothing makes sense. This is very, very well organized in terms of your thought processes that you present to me, how we're able to go through and have some good humor, but really just maintain a rationale that is really, I think, that is really, really, I'd say positive in terms of kind of the dynamics that need to be honed in on, which is like character, and which is like trust, and which is solid fundamentals and strategy and things like that. It's fantastic, and that's why I know you guys like that. You love that stuff. So do I. So we will let you go tonight. I'm going to hop on over to the Discord if you guys would like to join over there. We'll see what we can get done. If you have questions for me over there, there's a section that says Ask London Questions, and I am London. This is the Crypto Kingdom. You guys take care of yourself, and we may come back to you soon. So keep those notifications on, and we will come back to you